what's going on, guys? It's Dev, Mr. DEV. Before you jump into the video, yes, we are aware there was audio issues going on. Hopefully next time it won't happen at all or a little less. This was going on during the recording, so I tried my best to fix it up and make it more listener friendly. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the video.
So Lily asked a question from, if I could say this in the wrong phrasing bad, but short story basically in a previous, what do you think you were in a previous life, on the whole reincarnation idea?
That's what I actually find fascinating, honestly, about reincarnation. Yeah. That's a very interesting topic. I always felt like that. For all I know, I probably was a peasant. For all I know, but,
oh my god!
Have you had dreams where you were a peasant?
No, not that. Just I'm making light of the subject, but from what I heard from one of my friends, and she is honestly super into that. She would always the way she told me is that apparently each life that you have is kind of teaching you a lesson. So one reincarnation is that you're rich, the other is that you're poor, the other one is showing you about betrayal, and it's so forth and so forth until you complete your final mission to be complete and learn peace. Which honestly, that's a very good ideology when it comes to that.
Maybe it's me, but it makes me think the whole multi-theory dimension thing,
different dimensions and
yeah. In a past life, this sounds bad. In a past life, for me, I wasn't born, what I am now. I was probably born as some other race, and probably the opposite gender.
Yeah.
But pretty much was that he was probably an animal that flies, or maybe someone from the 50s, black and white.
I never heard yours. I'm fascinated in this stuff, so spill the beans. Spill the diabetes.
So I basically told them about how I had very vivid dreams where I was from Egypt, and I know about where all the relics are located. And so then when I had this really vivid dream where it was underwater, there was gold, there was this water cave, had hidden relics, and for this lion relic. But now when I looked recently on these page where it said that they found relics underwater, it was the exact scenery that I saw. I didn't go into the cave.
Oh.
So, and the other one was where I had vivid dreams about swimming underwater and the whale. And the only reason I know that I'm a whale is because my baby got stabbed, but pretty much arrowed. Yeah. And I remember. Yep, those are the two.
Oh, by the way, we are now recording.
Okay. Okay.
What
so have people also heard when they say about when you supposedly the reason why we have birthmarks are how we probably
I heard that yesterday.
Died. Yeah, how you probably died.
I must have got shot.
I got mauled by a bear.
Oh my god.
Oh girl.
Oh
what?
My god.
No, but yeah. The thing was, I feel like in a past life, I think I was an adventurer because since I was young, I've had dreams, vivid dreams of places that I didn't even know existed yet. I had a dream when I was 4, before I knew India was a place, that about a family that I was with. I guess it was my family. I've dreamt about being in China before, I knew what ancient China looked like.
So you was your Asian baby?
I probably lived in different countries.
Baby.
My God.
Probably why I like cats. It takes him.
Wild.
So
Wow, very well.
always,
But yeah, I feel like in a past life, after I heard that yesterday, I felt like I died in past life because I was mauled by a bear. Because
What the?
one, I'm this person. I don't know. I feel like I adventured out somewhere and got lost, and I feel like that's how I met my end. I was mauled by a. My birthmark is in the shape of a bear's head.
What the fuck, bro? See, maybe I got
that's
stabbed
pretty
or something.
cool.
That looks like a bear head.
I probably was shot. For all I know, I probably might have been shot by an arrow because so I have a birthmark. It's like a circle right there, like under my chest, like near my stomach area. And I have one right there, and I have one on my thigh. I felt like I probably was shot
Multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. So somebody probably did hate my ass real quick. They're like, death to
So
Tiabini.
now that I think about it, though, as the figure of the whale, I got so close to where my tail would be, and I have this really big birthmark on the back of one of my legs.
Hey,
That's crazy.
yo!
So, like, I guess that would represent where it goes before my fin is formed. That's weird. Hmm. But I'm kind of curious about rocks. Like, how did the bear thing happen? Like, dogs
I would
like mauled by a bear.
I would know the same thing because like getting mauled by a bear is wild.
Oh, I hear Sam.
Has anybody seen, by the way, has anybody seen a wreck in front of their eyes?
Yes.
Like
It wouldn't.
actually happened.
Yeah.
Yes, I just saw a motherfucker flip over.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wow.
heck?
That is
Okay.
scary.
Wow.
No, he okay, so he was going past me because apparently I was going the speed limit because of the rain. And he hit, I don't know what the hell he hit, but I just see him flip over from the road into the ditch, and I'm gonna drop by because that motherfucker flipped me off.
Dang. Talk about some crazy karma.
It's called
Don't even
man.
flip him off.
It's like he flipped a
Admit
lot of
that he
people
got his
off.
car.
There you go.
What do you
Call the ambulance.
Yeah, but
I
about
want to
the
hear
bear
rock.
thing, I'm also interested about. I just had to let it off my chest real quick. Sorry, but about the bear thing. So, where were we about that again?
Yeah, rocks. What happens before you get mauled by the bear?
No. I
Hmm?
don't know because like Lily, I used to have like some vivid dreams, but yeah, I don't really have. And I used to think about stuff that I didn't know exist, or like places I didn't know exist. But I don't really, because I don't think about them anymore or have dreams anymore. I can't really recall in full memory like I used to, and I'm very close to this part. But when I heard that, that made me think, oh, that's probably how it happened.
Hmm. And Dev, you haven't answered the question.
Huh? I don't even know
That's
what the
true.
question is anymore. What's going on?
Past life. Past life. What would you think he was in a past life?
Oh, probably either a cat or some gangster or something.
Gangster is
It probably
an
might have been a
overstatement.
cat. I feel like it might have been a cat, honestly.
What's your indication? Do you have dreams or you don't pay attention to them?
I really don't pay attention to my dreams unless like I remember them like that. Like there's a couple dreams I can tell you exactly how it played out because it was just so crazy how it fall into play. But like no, not like anything that recollect my past life or anything. Yeah, I don't really recall it. I mean, I remember this one dream where like I was running from the police. That's about it. But
So mob boss maybe.
So,
maybe.
yeah, about that,
Mm-hmm.
I got something to say about you running from the police. Blaze, you told me about a dream that he had where it involved you, me, and Tim. and we were driving in the car, and you did something stupid, and somehow we ended up running, but they got you first. They shot you and killed you.
Well, dang.
That's funny.
What if
I
that's
know
the
you're
future?
gonna have to ask him, but yeah, if you remember.
That'd be crazy.
Is that might have been the reason why, like, there's one particular dream I always have that it always involves a certain house, and I can never enter like a few of the rooms, which I always find it interesting.
That could be something from your past life.
Maybe. Huh.
But
Well,
maybe he doesn't remember anything. This might actually be his first life.
It's interesting because I know the structure of the house, but it's like I can never enter the rooms. And like it's
Like,
funny because what?
Like the door won't open.
Yeah, it's more like every time I try to enter a room, I cannot. I immediately wake up.
Oh,
There might be
It's
something
like
that he doesn't want you to
maybe
know.
past trauma or something. I don't know, but still, it's just I find it interesting.
That is interesting.
Very,
Has
very
anybody
interesting.
also heard of the theories where like supposedly when you be dreaming, you're entering like dimensions, different dimensions of your lives?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I haven't one yet.
Supposedly you're just going into different dimensions of your lives, and like you're, for all I know, I probably died in a few of them because I remember mentioning it to Dev a couple of times about that one dream that I told you that I got shot and then I also drowned in the dream, which had me kind of like just paranoid for the next couple of the next couple of weeks, like making sure all of my like windows were locked, my doors were locked, me sleeping next to my gun apparently.
We know who stays strapped.
Mm-hmm. That scared the crap out of me.
You gotta keep that 9 by your side.
Mm-hmm.
We not talking
Made
about
that peace.
nationwide.
Okay, bar, but like made that peace be still.
Right.
That piece of steel.
To steal the
Probably
soul
no,
of
that probably
freedom and
was
we.
one of my dimensionals. Like that was probably one of my dimensions that I entered, and I just died there.
I've heard a couple of different things as well in terms of dreams. One of the one you mentioned one. The other is like warnings. Our bodies, like another thing is our bodies, since we're all made of energy, like, affected. So one of them is that our dreams sometimes will give warnings of what's to come or reflections of what's happened. So that has to deal with a little bit more like psychology as well. Um, like if you dream of, I've heard if you dream of dirty water, you have a dirty conscience.
Yeah, that's
Or
interesting.
or things like that. So there's some things that can actually reflect on how it is you or how your body feels about, and things can like be symbolism or representing something or some a dream representing something.
So can
And
I ask,
Mhm.
what does it mean if you can't remember your dreams though? Because I've gotten to a point where I can no longer remember most of my dreams. I'll dream. I'll have a dream once every now.
I think from what I remember, um, don't dreams. If you don't, there's a few people that it means it's significant to you, but I think there's something else. I just can't remember. So I'm gonna Google it.
Good lord.
What would be a
What?
crazy dream y'all remember?
Oh,
You
that
law
one
and
that I
order.
died.
Dream not being stabbed to death.
If you have a
Hold on,
difficulty
wait. What'd you say, Rox?
Back in high school, it's like I was going through this time where I was just feeling really lonely, and like I would be screaming, not literally screaming, or I think, but screaming for help in a dream because I was being chased, and nobody would come and help me, so I ended up being cornered and stabbed to death. or there were times where I've been in so much distress where I would just wake up and start screaming, but I didn't know if it was like it was like projection or something. Who left?
Rose.
Beanie.
Okay. Yeah, but I would sometimes, I guess, like kind of like your like astral projection, if somebody knows about that, where you kind of sit up out of your body, and I would just scream and go back into my body. So I'd have to ask my parents if they heard me screaming last night, and they would just say no.
Okay.
But those are the craziest dreams that I've had. Or like I was driving in a car. You typically like early in the morning, like when the sun is still down, or at night, and basically I'd lose control of the wheel and crash. And it was really, really realistic though.
Jeez.
But I don't have those dreams anymore. But nowadays, since like the past, I guess, year, I either don't dream or can't remember them.
Okay, and now can I answer your question?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so in regards to it, is one of them is a study is where 4 to 6 we dream 4 to 6 times per night, and there is a certain percentage of people that don't remember. Now, the other aspect of it, which goes more into psychology, is that you have a difficulty time processing your experience, and you don't allow you to immerse yourself.
Wait, say that again.
So, one of the studies is that most people don't recall their dreams because we dream 4 to 6 times a night. So unlikely for you to remember when waking up. However, the other study is that you have a difficulty time processing your emotions, your experiences, and you don't allow yourself to immerse yourself in them.
Immerse myself?
Yeah, like let yourself feel.
Oh. I
Jay,
guess I gotta let myself
Yep.
what's some crazy dreams you had?
I ain't gonna lie. Like I think I've told you this one before. Somehow, some way, it feels like I can have my dreams to turn into multiplayer because I feel like somehow I'm connected with some other people as I'm dreaming. Like as soon as we all go to sleep, I'm somewhat connected to them. And one of the craziest one was pulling off a heist. I didn't think it was possible, but it somehow worked on this man saying, "Oh, this is all we got to do," and it worked. And alongside that, we had to sacrifice one of us because someone got caught. I'm not gonna say no names, but Def.
That's crazy.
But like we basically tried to break you back out, and it ended up costing one of us our lives. I can't remember who it was, but I think it might have been me. It was someone I know who can speak. Like they were the getaway driver, so it was either me or Tia Benny. So I couldn't
in
remember
the
which one.
apocalypse. We leave Dev behind.
What? Y'all crazy.
I mean, wait, what kind of apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah, Dev, that's your ass.
Oh no, nah, y'all ain't just gonna leave me like that. Speaking of zombie apocalypse, I remember one dream I had, bro. That was just crazy. The fact I remember it like from start to finish, that was just a crazy dream altogether.
I'm sorry, I just imagined the situation with Dev in it, and I started laughing.
Cold world.
No,
Real
it's I imagine you start running, being like, "Oh hell!" You start getting tired, and you start screaming like a little girl, like a little tiny like a girl or
I
high
am
pitched,
not
right?
that. I am not that out of shape.
I gotta say one thing out of everybody here, I'm probably like besides Super Soldier, Sin City, Mister. Dale can keep up with me, so I don't think he'll be the last one there. But I definitely know we would have to go back and be like, "Hey, where's he at?"
He'd probably get lost at a certain point. You'd be like, "Oh, a kitty."
No,
Yeah.
my attention span is not that bad.
Have you not seen yourself lately?
I mean, I remember at the meets, like just a random cat that just walked through the cars and everything. I was like, I'm gonna go follow the cat.
And you know what's happening in the meets?
Huh?
Like usually there was a gunshot, and we're like, what?
No,
I
whoa.
wasn't
What
all the
meets?
time.
I was about to say, not the meets
Yeah.
I went to. Like, what kind of meets you went to? The only
Yeah.
two meets I know that I've been to that ended in shooting was one and, well, I knew,
One with fries.
yeah, one with fries, and then there was another one. No, it happened well after I left. It's
It was
like,
only with you that we go to the meets. And I remember there was one year where I live that we went to, and the police got there. And then I was like, I was the first one to run to the car. And the girl who should not be named drops her phone. And I'm like, forget you! Forget that phone!
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, bro, that was a, bro. We was in like fight or flight type deals. Like,
And
she's like, "Oh, I dropped my phone. Forget the phone. We'll get it later." God, there's a lot of cops showing up right now. We gotta go.
because I was like, I told her to leave that damn phone. Just drive. Just drive.
I'm not. Where the hell was
Run right
I
over
Hey,
at?
yo, no, I
Maybe she'll
remember this.
learn next time.
Oh, go
Okay,
ahead, Rox.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Damn, hello?
What's up?
D-
Drop.
Anyway,
Where'd everybody get?
no,
We're
you
still here.
Rox. Rox.
She might have been lagging. She might be lagging.
Yeah, she probably just got to hang up and then join back real quick. Okay, well, I remember this one. I remember this one meet. This was Jay's first meet. First meet I ever took him to. And bro, he was hype. He was hype about it. He said, "Yeah, this is cool. This is cool." Well, 12 rolled up, and we all hit the dash. Everybody scattered like roaches, right? So I'm running, and I turn around. I see some dude.
Oh, you talking about I broke my phone, bro?
Oh, yo, bro.
Hey, yo, we don't talk about that.
I see some dude just start tumbling behind me, dude. And I was like, okay, like, just
I jumped over a bush, and crazy thing is like I was like, okay, I'm chilling. I get in the car and I'm like, yo, hold on, something ain't right. Let me check my phone. I check my phone, my screen cracked the hell, and I'm like, I know my big ass didn't fucking crack my phone. Like I ain't that, and I was way slimmer back then too. Not as big as I am now, but bruh, we don't talk about that.
Bruh, I'm telling you, bruh, I saw a man tumbling like some tumbleweed behind me. I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for dude. So we get back to the car, so I get back to the car, right? We both jump in, we driving off. I said, hey man, I saw somebody trip behind me. He said, yeah, that was me. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Bruh, I ain't never been so embarrassed in my life.
Oh my goodness, dog. Bruh, I'm telling you, if I knew it was you, I would have stopped to help you up. But all I saw was a man tumble. And I was like, dang, I feel bad for him. I'm going to keep going, though. And then you get in the car saying, yeah, that was me. I was like, oh.
I was mad that entire night. I was like, now I gotta get a new effing phone. Like, bro, I'm embarrassed. I'm scraped up. My pants got ripped. Like, it wasn't like my pants awkward way. It was just the fact that I looked down. I got blood on my knee.
You want to know something? Every time somebody falls, it's always Dev that's around.
Yes.
Bro, the scooter incident.
Bruh.
Two
No,
scooter
both of y'all.
incidents.
Both
Three
of y'all.
scooter incidents. Three of them.
No, okay, well, the first one was Fry's fault because he admitted that he was claiming he was okay to do it, and come to find out he wasn't.
We all know who was not okay.
I was gonna do it, and then you was like, "I'll teach you." I'm like, "Okay, just take it slow." And you all of a sudden you say, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready." And then so I'm like driving through, and you start going down the hill. I'm like, "That's what he meant by 'Are you ready?'" I was like, "No, I'm not ready." And then I have to catch it.
In my defense, it sounded like you said, "Yeah, I'm good." So I was like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, and you went down a hill. Who does that for a beginner? Beginner?
You said you knew.
Dev, you gotta know better than that.
Bought the scooter. I was like, Dev, no, thank you. I don't know how to ride them, and I don't want to hurt myself. And you were like, come on, I already bought the scooter.
Nah, it didn't go out like that.
You did do that.
But she was doing good, and then I happened to turn around, and then I see her jump off, start running. She ate the ground. I said, "Oh, she dumped it. She dumped it."
But I think she knows better than you do, because women are a little more intuitive than y'all dudes.
Says
Oh.
you.
No, I
Says
just felt
me.
feeling. I was like, there's something bad gonna happen from this.
Yes,
And
and I had that feeling too, and I
and then
fell
Well,
and almost got hit by a
well,
car.
Rox, just
because I
as,
didn't want to,
Yeah,
for the
but Dev
oh, go ahead.
didn't
Sorry.
respect. He didn't respect my no, and he was like, "Oh, I already bought the scooter." And in the back of my head, I was like, "This bitch," and then I was, then I was like,
But
"I'll teach you."
you had fun up till then.
He
Shit,
has a
fuck.
point. He had a pocket, but he has a point.
man.
Now with Rox on the other hand, Rox, me and Jay both yelled at you saying, "Do not follow him. Do not follow Jay.
But
Follow me."
the thing was, oh my gosh,
You
the
went.
thing was, I was in the scooter twice before and did fine, but that day something felt off. And I was
Well,
like, these dudes are really gonna leave me, and I don't really know my way around downtown like that.
no,
I
we
wasn't
turned
trying to
around.
follow him, but
We turned around. Jay said, "Follow me," like follow Dev, cause Jay went on the wrong side of the road. I was on the right side of the road. You went on the wrong side of the road, and then we was like, "Why are you over there?" And then that's when
panicked.
you ate. That you ate the
I
absolute
saw the
hell out
cars
the ground.
coming at me, and
You ate the hell. I'm talking about you took a biggest chunk out the ground I ever seen in my life. You ate the fuck out that ground. I can't believe it to this day.
Dev, that's an exaggeration, because no, I did not, because I usually land on my hands,
No, you went
and
flat.
that's what I
Like
did.
you went
I
flat.
didn't go flat, because I got back up. If I went flat, I probably would have stayed on the ground. And it was dark outside, so how are you going to see all of that in 3D and in HD?
Girl, it was LED lights on that street. What are you talking about?
It was dark down that street.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was dark. So how can you, Dev, it was at night, and then it took you forever to even get back to the car. And it was cold.
I remember that. Like,
I mean, we did park across town. We
I
parked where
remember
free
it
parking was.
vividly because I was the one that got hurt. Every time somebody gets hurt, you getting folded, Lee getting falling,
oh,
me
we ain't
falling.
we ain't talking if we
Dev is the one that's the common denominator.
Hey, y'all do it to yourself sometimes.
No bullshit. Hold on, we gonna
Bunch of bones.
like I gotta correct you one thing.
Yes, me.
Like, man, say no, that tree branch was not on me, bro. That was definitely on you.
What tree branch?
That was
I remember
the
now.
one that told you, and I wasn't even there.
Hold this, Jay. All right, bet. I'm gonna jump on this. Something says this is a bad idea, but I've seen people do it. So what's the worst that can happen? Fold it so fucking quick. Ooh, just thinking about it makes me mad.
Just copy what he saw on TV, like he's not an adult.
No, here's the thing. We did it before. We did it like 2 times before. Like we jumped on it, broke in half. So we said, okay, let's continue doing
That
this.
doesn't mean it's gonna work every time.
Well, at the time we both agreed to it. So we was like, okay, well, do it again with this one. I think it was the last branch we needed to break in half for it to fit. So when he held it. What was it against? I forgot. It was against something. Was it a brick or something?
A toilet seat, sir.
Oh yeah,
a old toilet you had.
Yeah. So we held it up against that. He said, "All right, go ahead, jump." So I was like, "All right, here we go." So I jump up, and it didn't break. It did not break at all. It kind of went like a bat. It just swung. And then when I landed, I turned around. I see this man folded open like an omelet. I'm like, oh. The first thing I said, I didn't say if you was okay or what happened. I said, damn, that man folded like an omelet.
This is the weirdest, like, mid-call.
Analogy.
Then I just entered it, and I was like, what the hell?
But he was okay at the end of the day. I mean, I fed him.
Mad as shit. But, like, I couldn't be mad at no one but myself. Is
What
she
was?
lagging?
Oh, she is lagging bad.
Lagging.
I told you, I lost connection.
You did?
Can you hear her?
I had lost connection. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Loud
I
and
see.
clear.
I just opened your text. That's why.
Yeah. I told you I had lost connection, and so I try to focus on driving
Oh, well.
because
No, you about to get lost and you about to lose connection again because you are all over the place.
Riding hard.
connection again. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah.
I'll just talk to y'all later.
All right.
You're gonna leave us again?
Alright, bye guys.
Bye,
See you
Brittany.
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang, that's
Yeah.
I was about to say she joined in and it just went to hell after that. Her audio was bad.
Cause I don't know about Discord sometimes.
Yeah, it's hit or
Discord,
miss. It's hit or
it's a
miss.
hit or miss for everybody. I'm gonna make burgers next week.
Ooh.
You gonna share?
Oh yeah, I'm making marinara burgers.
Oh, what?
Oh, a sloppy Joe.
Not like a sloppy Joe, but it's like something I got off of Hello Fresh, where it's like
I need to do
marinara
that.
sauce and mozzarella cheese, and it's like even though it's like a simple burger, that tastes so good.
But it's like a
And then I'm
take
gonna
on
try to make homemade fries.
right?
I guess for me it takes longer than what it says because of my cooking level.
Is it high or is it low?
Like they make it easy, but because I didn't learn how to cook, like nobody taught me, so everything I'm learning as I go.
I can teach you how
Okay.
to.
I like how
I would
there's
love
this
somebody help.
silence.
I was just about to say, why did everybody go silent?
Oh, I didn't mean to, but I would love somebody help me learn to make new things like chicken and rice.
Chicken rice? You don't know
Because
how to make
it
that?
went to
Can you learn?
anything I did not grow up eating. I don't know how to make.
Ah,
You
okay.
didn't grow up with fried chicken?
Huh? No, I grew up. Wait, yes, I grew up eating fried chicken. I'm black. But what I'm saying
She
is
said that with confidence too.
stuff that it. I sure did. I'm bold. I'm old and I'm bold.
I, you know what?
Who's
Sit.
snickering?
Like, I remember when I said I'm old, this girl would look at me and be like, stop that. Shut up. You not old. Because if you saying you're old, that means I'm old.
But
And I don't want to think about me being old.
the thing is though, I realize now that the older I get, it's like the less I care about certain stuff. So like my filter is getting weaker.
Yes, finally. Like, you with no filter was the most hilarious times of my life. That's probably why I survived high school.
I'm proud when I can make Jay laugh.
Like, bruh, high school was not the best. Was like ass at first, but when I met her, when I reconnected with her in high school, bruh, it was so amazing. That was one of my reasons to live.
Bro, I'm still
I
salty
think
that you
all I
left me
needed
high
to
and
do was
dry.
to get out of my shell was get out of my parents' roof. I feel like that did me so much good.
Wait, you don't live with your parents anymore, Rox?
No, I still do, but I'm saying like going to college and living out of the house, I learned more out of my house than I ever could, like just being sheltered basically.
Oh, I can.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like I really grew up sheltered because my mom hovering over me, and it made me afraid and like anxious to do anything.
Oh, okay. So like almond parent.
Not really like an almond parent, but just like
Black
just
parent.
always in all of my business.
Black mom.
Just like
Because
if I
black
had
mom's
I
just
couldn't keep a diary because I felt like I was paranoid that somebody more like my mom was going to come in and just read it. So that has happened before. I left a diary downstairs and she just started reading it and like laughing at it. She was like,
Ah,
"So
okay.
why'd you write this?" I'm like, please don't ask me."
I felt that in the heart. Jesus.
I did too.
Or like having all your private business just told out to family members.
So a
See now,
helicopter.
at that point,
The health nut.
no helicopter. No, helicopters are over.
That's the word for it. Okay. So I grew up with the helicopter parents. So just after a certain time after college, I just learned to be bold, and y'all just gonna have to live with it.
Who's this y'all?
Who is y'all? Like, you talking a little tough right now.
No, F's a little tough.
Oh my gosh. Not y'all specifically.
Mom and dad got to live with it. I was trying to say, like, I've been out of pocket. Like,
no, I'm
y'all
saying
know me.
like
Y'all see my snap. So
not just your snap, your story, like your life story. Let's go ahead and just tell this man, like, going to expose this man.
No. Like, nobody needs to know about that second place. They don't need to know. No,
no. If you want to follow this man, follow him on Snapchat. I just say the Snapchat name.
Yeah, add me. I don't care. Add me. But if you family, you're not getting at it. I'm gonna let you know that now.
Oh no, none of my family's on any of my social media except for Facebook. That's where people from church and family members are, and it's a separate life.
Yeah, that's why I can't wild out on Facebook. So
nope,
I'm there.
I don't know.
Did she say I'm a layer?
That's why I'm done.
I said your mom was there.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody, all the family members. You can't be.
Most of my friends on Facebook is family. Besides like y'all, and then like off the top of my head, two random people. But
that y'all was drawn out like a motherfucker. Except y'all.
A little bit of country came out.
It always comes out.
Hey, say between.
Say what?
The word between.
Between.
There it is.
That's how you say it, between.
Between them cheeks.
No. Wow. Anywho, I was saying it because Southern twang comes out in certain. So, like, for people, if they say between, you hear the between. Like, you don't hear it like between. Like, it's. I mean, it doesn't sound like that.
Could have said, like, I gotta ask you a question, and you just were like, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah. What's another word? I mean, ma'am is automatically is gonna come out. What's one word you can think of where you feel like it's like a little bit harder for you to say it because you feel like you sound a little more country?
Certain cities, like when people talk about Charlotte, sometimes I say Charlotte, and people was like, "You pronouncing the Char a little too heavy on that."
Charlotte.
I was like, "My bad."
Hear it, Charlotte.
I heard Charlotte. I heard that before.
I have too.
In the South, Lottie is a
Lottie.
I got a cousin named Lottie.
Yeah, Lottie's an endearment for someone named Charlotte. So some people actually call Charlotte Lottie. I'm going Lottie.
But I ain't gonna lie, I would have to smack somebody if I heard Lottie. Be like, that.
I've never heard that.
I ain't never heard that. It's like, call it Charlotte. That's what it is, Charlotte. Asheville. Boone.
Boone? Some people like it Boone?
Yeah, Boone.
Oh, shit.
Boone. Boone.
I have a trouble saying Morrisville.
There's Mooresville and Morrisville.
Yeah, that's two. So technically you're saying it right.
Yeah, if you say Mooresville, then you're talking about the one by Charlotte. If you say Morrisville, then you're talking about the one between Raleigh and Durham.
More like I struggle saying both of them. Morrisville.
Actually, which one?
Oh. What?
I might be wrong on that. I gotta hold on. Let me pull up the map.
It's Charlotte. No, it's not Charlotte. It's Durham and Cary. Because I worked in Morrisville.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it right. So.
Morrisville.
Yeah.
Mm, another one.
Rockingham, Hamlet, Lumberton.
Harlot.
Rockingham.
Wait, what did I do?
You ain't do nothing. You ain't done nothing.
You said the word Rockingham. No, they said Rockingham.
Dub said Rockingham.
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 That's how you say
I
it.
hear it.
Rockingham.
Rocking.
Yeah, Rockingham.
Now you fixed it. Rockingham.
Apex,
That-
Lumberton.
What's another one?
Another
Apex.
one.
Huh?
I'm at the new Chick-fil-A, and I don't know how to get into the drive-thru. Oh,
What?
Drive over a
Where
curb.
you-
No, it's like it's an island, and I'm trying to get to that island. Oh no! I think you got to go out of this and ignore me. Ignore me. All right.
That black coming in, you hear that? I gotta get that chalking.
My nose hurts.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I put that down?
And I pet that dog. Why did it get so quiet?
I don't know.
Because not gonna lie, you sounded the closest to it. Like I was laughing.
That was intentional. I pinched my nose.
Like no, like Lily sounds the closest to it. Like I would have thought that was Lily as a kid. Can I pet that dog? That would have been my first thought.
Hey, it's you pinch your nose, you inhale a little air, and you hold it. You just say, you try to do the most southern accent you can. Can I pet that dog?
Can I
Yeah.
put that down?
I feel like I'll go lightheaded doing that.
Another one I can do is hold on. It's probably never gets left.
What the
The
Donald
hell is
Duck?
going on?
No,
Du-
you've never Stitch.
Oh, say it again.
Wait, I'm kind of sick, so it's hard.
Oh, yeah, I hear it now.
Aloha means family.
What are you doing? Talk about some.
Me?
Yeah.
Sound like Donald Duck. I used to do this in the 5th grade. It's embarrassing.
I remember.
Yeah. And people would tell me, do it again, do it again.
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 Again. I just imagine.
I said it like this.
Somebody crying.
Again. Brett, what is that? What is that I'm hearing?
Say it again.
That is too funny for his own good.
What?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I was looking at something.
Ooh.
There's one. Hate, low. Hate, loathe entirely. You know what that is?
I don't know where that's from.
The Grinch.
Oh,
The Grinch?
you know how, I'm about to say, like, I haven't seen Grinch in 14, 15 years? Oh my god, my age.
Yeah,
Hey,
there it goes.
remix. They had more
Hey.
Tyler the Creator for rapping.
Oh, I am getting.
Mr. Grinch. No, you haven't heard that one? No?
I heard the
No.
song, but like, I just realized one thing. What's everyone's favorite holiday?
Halloween.
See, me and you close. I like that. Okay, Rox.
I think she's ordering food right now.
Crazy.
No, I'd have to say Halloween though. I like Christmas. I like getting gifts, but like I like Halloween because I can just terrify people.
Oh my. Okay.
That
Uh,
sounded mentally insane right there.
I was about to say that sounded kind of on the
Cause like
scarier side.
I've done one where I was like I dressed up really cute, but like I did like prosthetic makeup where I was like a jack-o'-lantern, like a cute little jack-o'-lantern with like two like yeah, with a nice hairstyle. Anyways, I pretty much put like the I was a jack-o'-lantern like bleeding out, and and basically they were like, so you're a pumpkin, because like I did the stripes on my face looking like a pumpkin, did like that really like kind of like not Harley Quinn but close enough to the makeup, and then I did like the lip thing a couple years back, and then I put the whole neck to, again with that cut line where it was dripping, and so yeah, they're like, what are you? I was like, I'm a jack-o'-lantern. So like, that explains the pumpkin. He's like, what's the cut then? I'm like, I'm a bleeding out jack-o'-lantern, so I guess you can call me pumpkin pie. Because like I was just being corny. I was being so cheesy. I think I was like 19 at the time. But it's still
See,
terrifying.
it makes me seem like I'm peaceful because, nah, who am I kidding? I'm a menace because I love Halloween to scare kids, but then give them candy. That sounds bad, actually.
I was
But
about to
like, it's
say, go
usually
ahead and reword
siblings.
that for me.
Usually my siblings, my younger siblings, because everyone hypes up Halloween. Not Halloween. Everyone hypes up Christmas. I'm like one of the most overrated holidays for me because like that's when you see the biggest like everything in store. Literally, days like Halloween. Soon as Halloween comes, soon as it hits November 1st, Christmas stuff already out. It's like, bro, it's not even near December. Y'all got Christmas stuff out. Why? But as soon as Halloween comes, decelebrate it for like a week, and it's like, okay, you got your week. What more do you want?
Anyhow, but as well, I also don't like Christmas too much because people act extra entitled around Christmas, especially to like anyone in this like that's working a service. Like let's say you're in the medical field, let's say you're in the retail, like they're like, I need to get this appointment before I go to the holidays. I need to get this appointment before I go to the like people act very extra entitled during the season, and you're just like, bro, it's just a capitalist freaking holiday. Jesus was
Man,
not born in
Whoop.
December. He was born sometime in June, and the only
might as
reason why
well
it's
celebrate.
cold, desert is cold at night.
This man
So yeah,
Dan's gonna take a lot of stuff.
I don't know.
so
I'm,
like
I'm just gonna let it flow.
I'm weak as
so
hell.
people act extra entitled on the freaking holidays. They'll be like, "Patient, I need this." They'll push people out of the way for items that they don't need that would probably be cheaper. Like if they just bought it throughout the year in a payment plan instead of spending $1,000 or more last minute on Christmas gifts and then complaining about how they're broke in the tax season. I'm just saying.
I feel like there's a bandana somewhere in there.
What?
Like who's your ops, girl? Who's your ops?
You asking who hurt me?
Not say who's your ops.
Nobody's my ops. That's a real thing, bro. People act like these holidays from America aren't just for to get some money. Like Thanksgiving is like also glorified, but in reality is when like people killed the indigenous people.
They don't want to tell the real history of it.
Yeah.
Holiday is pretty much effed.
All these quote unquote Christian holidays were having dark origins.
Halloween
Oh,
actually used to be where you would dress up to ward away evil spirits. And then it became into let's make it into giving out candy, and I don't mind that, and dress like you still have the tradition of dressing up and getting candy and celebrating the harvest. So I think that's cute. I feel like that's the only one that's closest to what it genuinely was. Versus the others, they're all far gone.
bless me. Whew.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Ah,
Point. Oh well. Like yeah. Easter eggs. That's not a thing. But it became a thing.
Dev, I think you're the only one who didn't answer.
Look, as long as I get my days off, I ain't worried about it.
I'm weak.
That's, I mean, that's fair. But you don't get Halloween off. That's one thing that sucks.
No, unfortunately. But then again, Halloween, I mean, free candy. So, in random parties, man.
Yeah, we know why you were going.
Nah. I was invited to the last two, so, and that was a time. That was kind of
Let
it.
me get.
Huh?
That was probably gonna like start barking when he's drunk. Hey yo,
No.
you drunk?
Oh no, I don't do that. No.
Not
The
anymore.
last Halloween party I went to, um, it was on this university campus out of all places, of course. But we were
Come
there.
on, you dressed as Panda?
Huh? No. I wasn't paying.
Oh,
No. That wasn't that year. No, actually, that was the last time I went. It was I went as Panda, and man, let me tell you, we was outside, we was in downtown, we was just we was on the
yeah.
street just looking at everybody walking by. I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool, right? We was just a monkey and a panda just sitting on the corner, and bruh, I wish I could make that up, but we were literally a monkey and a panda. So we sitting there, right? So we just enjoying the crowd, the vibes and everything. And this one group of people bumped into another group of people. Not to make it sound racist, it was a group of blacks and a group of whites. So, so one girl, I guess she said something to the other group, and they was like, "Or what was that for?" Type deal, whatever, wooty woo. And next thing you know, the girl from the white group, she swung on him. She swung on the black guy, and so the black guy swung back, rocked the absolute ish out of her. I'm like, yo. And then next thing you know, her group started jumping in, and his group started jumping. I'm talking about full on brawl in the middle of the street. And so I'm sitting there like, oh damn, oh damn. And when the cops finally came, it was crazy because the fight went on for about a good 20 seconds before the cops actually stepped in. And they were sitting right there on the same corner with us. That's the crazy thing about it. So, probably. But after the fight broke out, so the cops came in, right? This one cop picked up this white boy and threw him down the street. I'm talking about picked him up and chucked him. He did a cartwheel down the street, basically.
Oh, bro,
And
what?
I'm like,
No.
yo, this man got embarrassed. And of course, they locked the black man up. And I'm sitting there on the corner. I'm like, bro, she started it. I pointed at everything. I said, it's the girl right there. She started it. She swung first. I'm a witness. Bro, I don't know what I was.
So he's snitching. He's snitching is what I'm hearing.
Bro, I was a big snitch that night, bro. I was like, nah, I can't let a brother get locked up. She did it. I'm saying, yo, you're arresting the wrong person. And then I'm just sitting there, it's like, bro, that's messed up. And then as a group was walking by, I said, I'm about to start snitching. And then one of the girls from the groups was like, nah, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, boo. And I was like, all right, you got a point.
Boo? Ooh.
Sometimes it.
Yeah, but after that, I was like, man, forget this. And so after we left, we went down the street, and the clubs were letting out. And this girl, I don't know how she got outside with a beer, but she did, which was surprising to me. So she's standing outside with a beer, trying to call a ride up, and her friend was trying to take the beer because obviously you can't have beer on the street. And the cop came up, and he was like, you need to throw that away. And so as her friend was trying to take the beer, she yanked it back and it splashed all over the cop, and all over
the
clop. Yeah, the clop. It splashed all over the cop, and then it splashed back on me and my friend. And the cop was like, "Oh, you better go to jail now." And her friend was like, "No, it's an accident, right?" And so I was sitting there and I was like, "Bruh, I'm about to go to jail because you just covered me with beer." I was like, whatever. So we kept it pushing, but that was a ball. We had a ball. It was like 5 a.m. when we got back.
Hey, y'all know it's almost the anniversary of the Alabama boat brawl.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. That needs to go down the history books. I'd be mad if it doesn't.
same.
The anniversary, yes, we celebrate it every year.
You know what we should start?
Last year.
Recreate it in a video just to be funny.
You know how many people you're going to trigger doing that? But I like triggering people. It's fun.
Obviously, we're
Yeah,
gonna have ops at us because of this man.
I mean, some of the reactions they have towards certain things is not even necessary, and it's over something
I,
super small. Like if it's something big, like what'd be a good example? Um, I don't know what would be a good example, but if it was something major, then I understand. But if it's something small, man, I'm gonna clown you.
Mm.
Did you say same?
no.
Oh, sound like she said same.
No,
Same in the membrane.
I've been chilling, bro. I don't let nobody get me angry. I shouldn't.
I'm trying to stop to get out of that.
Nah, it's
Both of
just
y'all, both of y'all off y'all best behavior. It's funny as hell.
I know sometimes I can be a ticking time bomb, and that's
Oh
not okay.
yeah.
So I rather just not get mad. Although recently, there's been someone in my life that's been making me mad, but I can't do nothing about it because I'm their employee, and I'll just keep it at that.
Mm. Mm.
I feel like I know.
Whew, Lord.
I'm about to say no
Lord,
reason to get mad. You
Don't get
forgive and you
mad. Get
forget.
glad.
Yeah, see, don't get mad, get glad.
We're not sponsored. We're not gonna give them that free promotion.
Don't be
I'm not.
mad.
I don't even think I use their
yeah,
products. If we could get sponsorships, that'd be legit though. Honestly, like help us help you. We'll get you out there. Maybe not right now because our viewers are like extremely low. But besides that,
How many viewers do we have?
I don't even know. I don't
Ourselves?
even check anymore. I just literally
You
upload and
really
then I upload it and then after that I forget about it for like a week.
Oh,
do.
he
Yeah,
said.
we need somebody else directing this. You're
Look,
fired.
how you gonna fire me?
Oh,
And I'm the one recording and editing everything. That's crazy.
let's see. What
Like,
the? I forgot my dog was beside me.
I'm sorry. I thought you said inside you.
oh my goodness.
What?
Oh my
What?
goodness.
Hey, yo, hold on.
Yo, but there's been nasty ass people that do that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that girl's name? I think her name was Brittany, but they called her the dog fucker.
There was also a guy who recently did it to a 9-month-old puppy.
Ooh.
Oh,
This white man with like a ginger beard kind of look. I don't remember his name though.
The way you
But he
said
came
white
on.
man. She's like, the white man.
Right.
She said it with so much emphasis. She's like, the white man.
She wanted to know that it.
Bro, you sound like a truck trying to start up. Like, what you got going on?
No,
Don't worry about it.
I was thinking about it though. I'm like, I don't want to get canceled.
This girl already. We already canceled with this white man.
The white man.
No, it's
Oh,
I'm not saying it's white people who do this, but it just happens to be a coincidence that every case I've heard about this, it's been a white man fucking a dog or a white woman letting a dog fuck her. And then the other part was like that recently happened was somewhere in India. There actually was this news, a couple news actually, where there was this orangutan that like they had been passing around and raping.
What?
Whoa, wait, hold on.
Whoa. R word. Whoa.
Okay,
So they tossing around a whole monkey? No pun intended.
around. Okay, they were tossing a monkey around. And so finally the monkey gets rescued, and the people, the villagers in that region were mad as fuck because you got to look this up. It's real. The orangutan would like get on the bed, just trained already, and just be ready because of how like stressed out it was. And eventually it became very violent with anyone around it once it realized it was in a safe environment. And there was also this recent one where people went and started fucking a Komodo dragon. Like R
Wait,
wording.
wait. Hold on. A
A
Komodo dragon?
Komodo?
You know how big they are?
How are you doing that? That's my question. That's how big. Like, why are you doing that?
I don't want to like make you search this stuff in your Google search, but you can like.
Look, better than my FBI agent hates me, so I don't want to add more hate to that.
Nah, FBI got Lily. You on that one? FBI can search you all the time. FBI already on my ass.
He probably just threw away his headphones. He said, "I heard enough today."
Search this, okay? Necessarily, it was because I was on TikTok and I had
I heard this line before.
A lot of men who were doing some weird ass crimes, and then like a lot of the comments were like, they deserve to die, I would like them, and these things would come up in my For You page. So there's like that came up, and then recently this guy who R-worded this baby who was a few weeks old.
Oh my God.
And then the guy who killed him in jail recently had the freaking quote, like he was the funniest shit was that the guy was like pretty much like what happened, he was upset about it, which makes sense, like don't do that to a baby. So he kills the guy because the guy was trying to justify it while he was in the sale.
Oh, I seen this one.
And the guy kills him, and then he goes to court and he's like, God is the only punishment we got. I just set the appointment up. And I thought that was gold.
It's ironic that you say that, because in prison, like if you are known for if that's your charges, and they will find out. Yeah, you're dead, quite literally dead. There's a place down in Florida that it's a prison, it's a jail, but for people that do crimes like that, they go there instead into like a normal prison because they get killed almost like less than 3 days. Yeah, they pretty much get killed less than 3 days of being there.
Heard something because I get addicted to the reels on like Facebook and YouTube, where this guy he goes to jail for R-wording and deleting this like I forgot if she was like 7 or 17-year-old girl, but and he tells another guy in prison about it, and the guy he's telling it to, he's in prison for something else, but he was mourning his daughter, and turns out the guy that he's bragging to was the one that R-word murdered his daughter. So he killed him.
Jesus. Deserved.
And I'm like, yeah. I said I wouldn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Don't know how it happened. Tragic. But well deserved. You're gonna go to prison and brag about rape, R-wording, and deleting somebody's daughter too.
It's crazy, bro. Some of these people are just mad.
Oh yeah, and then recently I heard about basically guys nutting on random women in public.
I heard
you can't be that damn desperate. There ain't no way you can be.
Bro, there was this one girl who that happened to, and she knocked the fuck out of the guy. As she should. I don't know what I would do in that situation, honestly, because like I feel like my automatic response would be like, "Ugh, what the fuck is that?" And then I look up at that dude and I'm like, "You just did that shit?" Oh well, I got the confirmation right here. I don't need to freaking ask you. Probably would have stabbed the bitch slowly. And then when the officer, why'd you do that? It was fucking self-defense. He was threatening me. Do you not see his DNA on me? What would have been next? I just would not take that well.
the fact that somebody's so desperate to do that. Like, how? What is going on in your mind to just do that?
You don't think people are desperate? People buy women's bath water and women's toenail clippings.
That I have seen, and it's like, what in the world? Like,
And I
y'all,
can't.
what was that one girl, Bella Daphne?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I can't say it's not the same for some girls, because some girls, they're like, want to be like, I'm not trying to kink shame, but they're like literally be like, I'll pay you for you to like put me on a fucking leash. Like, no thanks.
Ain't gonna lie, kind of sexy, but
Rough.
Ew.
didn't you just say you're not king shaming her?
I'm kink shaming. Because you have one barking, and they're like, damn, that's kind of sexy. Are you
Okay,
sure?
so let's get on something that you might think is sexy, and let's see how you get replied on.
I think intelligence is sexy.
Gross. Like,
Yeah.
like, imagine say something sweet to me where MC squared actually is nigga, what? Like, I'm kidding.
Not MC,
That
and
made
then
my day.
MC.
But intelligence isn't really that much of a kink though. Like, how you gonna kink shame intelligence? At that point, you're just basically saying, "Oh, I like dumb people." Like, so I don't think that's really anything to really shame.
No, I just like, for me, what I find attractive, I don't go out and be like, oh, this is over the top. I don't know. Maybe I'm just very simple. I'm just smart. They're
I don't
funny,
know.
and they have a good appetite because they can eat. That's all I really care about.
She just make sure they have a good appetite so they can eat, so they can't run away. She's gonna cripple them so they can't run away.
No, that's not why. Because in our culture, the more that you eat, the more polite you are. So like, if someone can eat and not reject, let's say, my family member's food, it works out for me, because then I don't have somebody like consistently down my throat being like, they're too skinny. Like, I don't have to worry about that. And I think as long as a person as well is like handsome, it doesn't have to be like they're amazing or they're the next model, but I can't say that I'm not somewhat matters of looks, because I've dated a Dusty before, and
Oh, she said like that. Dusty is insane.
I like that though. I like that. She said a dusty. That's like a new
But
classification.
it's only towards guys who let you say something about that, like against a woman, and you watch how many people about to like
Oh no,
defend
I'm,
it.
I'm gonna say my piece. I don't care. I was say you how you is. My countryside came out because I didn't know what I just said a second ago.
Y'all.
I'm gonna say how you is.
down. But there's been certain situations where I hear from my guy friends about like, it's out there, put somebody's business out there, but like, there is someone that I know, okay, they pretty much were living with their partner, okay? They were living with their partner, who happens to be a woman, okay? And this woman put them out on the street because they wanted to be with another man, while this person was paying the bills, changes the code on the lock, has the person sleep outside, and is like treating them like a dog whenever they want to have them in and out. And then finally makes like a restraining order saying that this person hit them when they didn't. So like, I'm not saying, and they're not, I to be pretty on the outside anyways. So I'm just saying, like, men who are dusty, and there can be women who are dusty as well and sleazy. It's just it's not really about more so of a gender thing. It's more like a character thing. But like I'm saying, back to my story, was dusty looking, and he had a dusty ass personality, and he was dusty ass broke. Like, I'm not ever doing that again.
Damn, dusty book is crazy. You so
Right.
broke. You so broke that dust come out your wallet. That's crazy.
And like, yes, and I did it more so because this
Pity.
person had common interest with me, not because I had feelings for them, but they still did me dirty. And I'm just like, if they are dusty on the outside, so it's one thing for me, it's embarrassing if I get like, this sounds so shallow. If I get like, if I get someone who is dusty as fuck overall, versus if someone was like handsome, right? And like they went up and did something, I would feel disrespected. But then when somebody looks back and they were like, that was your man, I was like, yeah. And then like I like, it's like okay, I guess, because I'm like, at least he wasn't poor and ugly all around. Like maybe he had some somewhat good, but he still ended up being like a piece of shit. But like it wasn't all around. So I'm just projecting.
I ain't gonna lie. This sounds hellish, like mean coming from someone like me. I got tired of putting girls in their place when it came down to like, I hated the ones that's like, you have to have this, and that. And then when you reverse the table and say, what do you bring to the table? No offense. If you just say, I bring me to the table, ignorant ass answer. Like, a woman's presence is not the equivalent of like what you do in your society. Same thing with a man. It's like, you have to equally bring something to the table together, because if you get into a relationship, it's a together thing, not just what I bring, what you bring. Nah, like, and the craziest thing is, I watch so many people be single because they have a toxic mindset of like, it should be about what I want and what I want at the end of the day. It's like, no, isn't that both what both y'all want?
I
Like,
mean,
maybe that's just me.
For relationships, it is important for you to both be compatible. I do believe that the substance of love, the presence of a person, should be enough. However, it's a little bit of a different situation when you feel entitled that because your presence is there, then you have to like be showered with all the materialistic gifts. Although that is part of your love language, and someone can provide that for you because it is part of your love language, it is selfish to consistently expect that out of your partner if you're not willing to at least reciprocate in some form their love language. That's the way I see it. Because
I'm about
like
to say,
I'm not that person to be like, I'm not that person to be like, well, I'm going to completely like deplete someone's funds. No. Now, if that is like how like again, someone like proceeds to show their love is by showering gifts and the person receives that well because that is part of their love language, that's okay. I just don't really see it as like me because it's really essentially about presence of each other in a relationship should be enough because it's on the base of love and the base of care and the base of nurture. That's the way I see it. And people will always look for what they want. If a woman wants someone with money, there are a lot of ways that they're going to get it. Is going to be go through men on dates, find someone who is eligible to their criteria. It's kind of for me, I don't really see I don't really kind of judge it from there because it's like everybody is searching for some different things. Some people are looking in relationships for more of a business deal where they just want to be showered, like again, they just want the materialistic things. And sometimes you will find that, but sometimes you will not find that if at the same time you're trying to, I guess, find someone who is nurturing, loving, and doesn't fit the like overall criteria that you want. However, I also think that falling in love with people should be organic. It should be where like you and the other person connect on a deeper level, not because of your selfish desires, but because you genuinely connect.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds, like I said, it sounds crazy coming from me. In the society that we live in, people take money and equivalent to love. And that, personally, that's probably one of the dumbest things to me, because it's like, if you equivalent love to money, then you're destined. You're destined to be single. You're destined to get the negative consequences that come with that. They always say more money equals more problems. Well, if that's what you're chasing, you will have more problems. And I can't feel bad for someone who like does that. Like, and that's probably my mindset on it, just because I know too many ways to, I ain't gonna say counter certain things. Like in the example I said, if if a woman or a guy, if someone, let's say, if someone says, "I need this, 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 and this, and this," all out of a person. Okay, and then when someone says that's unrealistic, hey, it is what it is. Because one, let's put it like this: someone making over 6K a year. Do you know how rare that is? Like, not even a good 30% of people are making six figures a year.
Wait, you said 6K or six figures?
6 figures.
Okay.
Over 100K. Two, that if we look at the average for certain things, the average height for a guy is five. Jesus Christ, 5'7" to 5'9", I believe. And the average for a woman is really?
Yeah, I think it's like 5'5" average now.
No, that's for women though.
No, like women, it's like, actually, I could be wrong. Hold on, let me see.
I'm about to say, yeah, you could be wrong because I just looked this up actually because of one reason. I had this argument with somebody, and he said, I need me a guy who's over 6 foot. And I said, you know, the funny thing is for anyone who wants someone that's over 6 foot, they do realize that people who are taller tend to usually have shorter lifespan. So I'm like, all them short people, they might live longer. So, Dev, average woman height is between 5'2" and 5'4". Average guy height is between 5'5" and 5'7".
Okay. See, I knew I was somewhere along those lines.
Well, no, I lied. It's 5.7 inches to 5'9".
Okay.
So
women is 5'5". Women's average height is 5'5".
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh crap! Beat my tongue.
I think that there's girls that are 4'11" or 6 tall guys. I'm like, how do? No, I just noticed that there's some women who are 4'11" now. Never 6 tall guys.
I'm about to say, I feel like she's throwing a shot towards somebody that we know, and she can't even be here to defend herself.
Are you talking about this little one right here?
But the lot, like,
no, I wasn't thinking about that.
Any shade. I'm just saying that there is people who are short who get tall guys. That is what they want, and that's like for me, like the way I see it, there's nothing wrong with that because there's always going to be someone for somebody out there. Now, is that somebody going to treat that person right? I don't know. I can't tell. But
the problem is the preferred the taller guys. If you say, why don't you date a short guy? It's a ick. And it's like, okay, now I have to go ahead and make this statement. This is gonna sound hella mean and sexist. If a woman says I prefer a taller guy, but it's an ick for having a shorter guy. If a guy says I want a thinner woman, not a chubby girl, immediately called misogynistic. So it's like preferences can
arguments when that comes up.
Preferences are somewhat one-sided. Like there are certain things you can get away with saying with no consequences, where others you have to have a reality check.
If you want somebody to be chubby or thin, like for me, this might be a little personal. I like my men to have like some chub to them. Like I want them to be like exercise because I like to exercise, but if they have some chub to them, I don't mind. I do not mind someone that looks like they don't say no to a donut.
Then again, you're not like the majority of women. That's the thing.
No, a lot of women that I know
that they don't know.
Yeah, a lot of women that I see, like your argument is people that you know. So I'm using people that I
it's actually not. I'm not using people that I know.
But I'm just saying that for example, I have a few friends who they don't prefer a guy who is quite like all the way buff. Some of them like a chubby guy. Some of them want them lengthy and skinny. So there's like I said, there's people out there for everybody. So if you do have a preference to find someone, or don't be a dick about it and be like if I said I like some people like to do like I freaking hate fat people or say some like dumb shit like that. Then it's a different case there. Like if you just say like if you're generally just being genuine, not putting somebody down and being like, I like people on the chubbier side. I like people on the thinner side. It's just what I prefer. Then I don't really see anything wrong with that. I just see something wrong with it when you're purposely being mean about it.
And that goes into feeling, because the statement I just said, like, if a guy says, I don't want a girl who's big, I want a girl who's like this and that, misogynistic. And honestly, the one thing I would say is if you have a certain preference, you if, as anything, if you have a certain preference, you should have that same energy when someone else has the same or different preference that doesn't fit yours.
I'm just saying that there's like also for some people they don't take things well unless it's phrased a specific way. Like if you say I don't like and say I prefer instead, there's a certain like I guess certain people get triggered by the certain ways that certain sentences are phrased, and some people just get offended overall. I don't really know, but with the case of like height, that matters. I know to a lot of other women, but there's also women who like short guys, and on that, and I'm explain why. Certain women like short guys because they're at chest level.
The funny thing is here's one thing I told a lot of girls, and the funny thing is, it sounds very rude. If you are part of the minority, do not know your place where you are. You're part of the minority. You're not a majority. Because when you start speaking in the minority part, that's when we can identify who's who. Granted, yes, I'm not saying that there's no woman who likes a short guy. No, I'm saying there are some there. But if you ask the majority, what happens? And I'm not even basing this on people I know, because I'm one of those people. Dev can vouch for this. I can go up to strangers and talk to them about topics like this on a whim. Fuck you. I can talk to people like this on a whim. And the funny thing is, it comes down to like how well people hold their feelings. At the end of the day, when you involve feelings into certain things, such as like a realistic debate. So let's say I have a debate with another guy, and I say, you know what? I like girls who want to on the thicker side. And he's like, well, I gotta have them, a dime piece.
Between 49 to 5% of women prefer taller men. So I'm pretty sure between the other 50% or, other 7%, they most likely prefer shorter guys. This is actually based on a study.
Like I said, you do minority versus majority. Because I'm going to say it like this. Ask how many friends you have versus how many people you don't know.
It's literally split down the line, though.
But how often are you going to be admitted to, the short kings? Or the short girls? Because, hold on, let me ask this question for Dev. Dev, what's your preference in a girl?
Like you want my personal preference or general preference?
Personal.
Oh, my personal preference. Let me get it out.
Get it out.
Hey, you know what? Mother. Anyway, I can't say what I want to say. Anyway,
edit it out anyway.
Shit.
I've always wanted to know that. What is your preference?
Light skin, brown skin, braids. Either skinny or slightly curvy.
Oh, and here's the other statistic for guys. 13.5% of men prefer shorter women and then while 49% of women prefer to date taller men. So yeah, that's been recently updated. So yeah, you just said.
Hold on, I just realized something.
That's my preference.
Rox, what's your preference?
She already has it.
I had a feeling you were going.
Now she's trying to run away so she can nibble on her nuggets.
I think Rox wants somebody who has the same similar beliefs as her.
There was like a lot of extra sounds I could barely hear. But I guess over time my preferences pretty much changed. I guess like personality wise. Because me, I like masculinity. So anything like damn, I lost it.
Anything like Dom
yeah,
Daddy. Is that what I'm hearing? Like
Not entirely, because I don't like to be told what to do. I want to be his equal, not his submissive whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I guess my preference is what I'm seeing now is kind of like
What I'm
I've
seeing now
gone
is
for some
insane.
free-spirited guys. Huh?
What you said is what I'm seeing now. You mean the Percy, the guy you're seeing now?
No, what I'm seeing about what I am learning about myself is that I guess I like free-spirited guys. Not like hippie dudes, but like guys that don't stay in
That's
one
exactly what
place.
came to mind too. It was like, hey, she into
My
hippies?
no, what came to mind for me was Medea when he said the free spirit was, the free spirit, like the hose. Like,
Ain't nothing wrong with being a hoe.
coming from a hoe.
Yeah, nah, I am.
And I guess that's another way to put it too. Like that's another characteristic they all had.
The hoe?
Basically, yeah.
She on some
I'm
sexy
like,
red
ooh, I
type
can't
stuff.
do that.
I'm looking for the hoe.
Can't
But I do
see.
like guys that are smart, guys that are put together. For me personally, money's not a big factor because I work all the time and I was raised to basically have my own. So I'm not looking for a guy to like be my only source of income. And like I depend on him completely financially because I was taught not to do that. But I want a guy at least with a stable job. He doesn't have to make six figures. I'd prefer it if he didn't. But like an average Joe kind of tax bracket.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because a lot of people do want someone that just compliments them, and it doesn't really like for some people. For like, I think I can't say most or some unless I look at the particular statistic, but there are like that kind of what you're saying. You don't want someone who like is necessarily who earns more than you. You just want somebody that kind of works with you. Um, and I agree with that because I also was raised with the mindset of never depend on a man, but if a man is a gentleman, that's a plus. Um,
Yes.
It defines what's a gentleman then.
a gentleman, for me personally, is someone who not like respects my boundaries and I can respect theirs. The gentleman for me is very like old, kind of a little bit older. You will like hold the door for me. You will pull out the seat for me. You will treat me with the respect that I give you in return. Um, and you will also treat other women or people with respect unless they give you a reason not to. That's my definition of a gentleman.
Yeah.
So I was taught that there are men out there who do want to pay for your stuff. And there are men out there who aren't so, who don't have that like privilege to do so. And there are men out there who, like, there's like a range of different kind of people out there for you that just want to feed into their ego. So for me, the criteria that I have again for the personality is to be funny, be respectful, be a gentleman. You don't necessarily have to earn more than me, but if you're the type of gentleman who wants to pay stuff for me, I at somewhat do appreciate that. I only allow that for someone I know on a deeper connection because I have had people that I know try to pay for something for me and then they would expect a sexual favor in return. Now
I can't
that's
stand
not with
men
And
like
that's the
that.
thing.
Like, why would y'all do that? Pay for it and then expect
Deaf.
something back. I can't stand that.
Deaf. Deaf.
What?
Boy, shut your ass up.
That
Bro,
sounds like you.
that,
that is not me.
I would say this because I told my
Ouch.
in-law, I was like, if you want to break a curse or something like that, everyone believes in the tradition of man should pay on the first day. I'll say no. If you want to break that curse, bring 50-50. A woman pays on her first day, a man pays on his. So he doesn't expect anything in return. That's how you break that. And the funny is, I got hate for that from somebody because he said that's actually a stupid way to do it. I said, realistically, what does every guy chase out for on the first date? What is the whole reason a guy is taking a woman on the first date? What does he expect at the end?
That boy howdy.
So if you eliminate the reason for him to do any of that by doing it yourself, now you have someone that's actually going to stand out differently because he's going to understand, oh, I just can't get it with cash. I have to find a different way for that to happen.
I do agree with that though, because the way that I would like present myself is I would not let a man pay something for me unless I knew said man. Because again, I do not want any like, and I learned this. I don't want any man or person to take advantage of me solely for the reason that they paid for their meal and now or they did something for me and now they feel entitled to me. Because once you show me that you signal people as being property, that's when it's like a problem for me. So when I was let's like put my current partner as example. When I met this person, um, they pretty much had helped me because I didn't know they didn't know that they had helped me, but there was this guy that was harassing me and following me out throughout the whole school. Um, and people on higher up doing anything. So ended out saying that this person was a decent being. So in return, I was like, this person helped me out. I'm going to say thank you and buy them a meal, even though it's the bare minimum for someone to stand up for someone else. So I ended up doing so. And in which way I do feel like I eliminated like, the potential for that. Um, Now there's been some cases where again I did let like a guy pay, but it would never went further past that. If I did leave a man to pay for something, it's because I knew they were a POS. Um, for example, there was this one guy who asked me on a date. He was part of one of this like on the other side because I went on a all girl school. He was on the all boys side, and he asked me on a date. After I finished high school, he asked me on a date. I start going to the restaurant with him because we were both working at the mall at the same time. We both get off coincident at the same time. We both happen to meet up near the food court around the same time as he's texting me. And then he's like, "Do you want to go on a date? I'll be off in like 2 minutes." Fine, let's go on a date. As we're walking to the date, I wasn't really interested in the guy, but I had pretty much that mentality that I'm not going to block for anyone from getting to know me or me getting to know them. As I'm walking to the date, I'm looking through their followers to see if they're tagged with anyone who might be a partner to them because I do not wish to hurt any woman who might have a connection with this person. So I do, ends out having a whole girlfriend. So pretty much I knew it was going to be a waste of my time to sit with this person. So I stacked up the bill to $200 worth of eating, and then just left the bill
Good
for them.
job.
See,
So
okay, I'm gonna let you finish on that.
what?
Because I'm about to say this. No, because I'm about to say like, and she's saying good job. I was like, so this makes you seem like I'm a dick for what I did because I'm one of those people. I've had my emotions messed with because of women, and the saddest thing is as soon as I told everybody this, as soon as you lost the person that you was getting close to, I become a complete stranger.
Mhm.
So if I act my way towards you like a certain way, you deserve it. And if anyone else step in your place, they get the same treatment you get. And in regard to what I'm saying is, I had somebody that did certain things and honestly was unfaithful. What did I do? Let him go. And the funniest thing is, you know what I got called? I got called a punk because, or I got called less of a man because I didn't fight for that person. And I said the saddest thing is if you are so fixated on me like trying to fight for you, you must obviously got the wrong person because every
Yeah.
woman has the same thing you have. The saddest thing
And Jay,
is who's going to treat you better. What?
I applaud you for that too, because you hold yourself to a high standard and you have enough self-worth to know whoever was unfaithful to you when you gave your heart to them and they were not faithful to you, you
Walked away.
God,
Oh no. I didn't walk
you
away. That's
walked
the thing.
away.
That's the thing. I didn't walk away. That's what I'm saying. This is younger Jay. This is Jay that was. I did petty. I did bad for the bad, petty for petty. So you did something bad to me.
Which
I'm
I
a
applaud
double
for
what you
that
did.
too.
Like so. And the saddest
I
thing
applaud that
is
too.
like I don't. You was there for one of them, and the saddest thing is I literally told this girl, I said the same way you met me is the same way I'm gonna leave out your life. So what's happened is I started treating her exactly how I met her, at friendly at first, and then when I realized everything about her, I started treating her like shit. And I said, what goes around comes around. So no one can ever get mad at me for the things that I have done. Just for the simple fact of is I do not want to hear that it's a woman. So regardless of what happened, you're still supposed to treat it with respect. No, my respect is earned, not just immediately given. I don't care if you're a woman, don't care if you're a man, don't care if you're my elder. My respect is earned, not just given. Because if you're not going to do the same thing back for me, why should I do it for you?
I mean, like I said, that's fair, but like in in the thing is like you should never let someone get to you. And I feel like my younger self was like a little bit the ego side because I was like, how the fuck are you gonna fucking waste my time when you have a whole girlfriend? And then you're not gonna be freaking honest about it when I asked you about it. And we weren't boyfriend and like girlfriend at all. We just went on one date. This was a date. Um, so that's kind of the reason why I did that. And I also texted the girl about the whole situation. And I said pretty much like, you probably shouldn't be with a man that's trying to cheat on you. I don't know the situation. I don't know if you guys were cheating back and forth, but like, if you need to save your energy from being with a man who does not love you or you may not love, it's probably best to like split yourself from that situation because right now he's looking like a fool, $200 worth of food trying to cheat on you. So I did message the like girl about that, and she took it as like you're trying to take my man. I never saw this man again. I left after that. Because in reality, my search wasn't even for love; it was for friendship. So
Hmm.
Okay, one thing. This over here, Dev, has been hella quiet for the longest.
Yeah.
What y'all worry about me
I'm,
for?
I'm, I'm on your ass.
I'm just letting
Get to
y'all
talking,
yeah,
boy.
talk about what y'all want to know. My opinion.
Boy, give us duh. Like the hell.
Oh, all right, but let me stop.
And then he don't say nothing.
Can
Nah,
I
Actually,
add
hold
something?
on. Okay, yes, but give me 1 second. Dev, how long has this recording been? Because this
about
man said the
40.
last time
A
we had a
long
two
time.
out. He said the last time we had a 2 hour recording, he said he's going to smack each and every one of us for going 2 hours without checking the
No,
time.
I found out the last one was like 3 hours 30 minutes.
Over 2 hours
Yeah,
doesn't change nothing. You say you're going to smack each and every one of us, so I'm ready for that fade, bro. Where you at?
I don't feel
I'll
like
be
doing
back.
it. Oh Lord, I got to stretch. I got deja vu all of a sudden too. I feel like I lived this moment already.
mm.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, we've had this conversation before.
yeah,
Yeah, we have.
should I wait till he comes back or?
No, but anyways, I'm gonna continue talking until he like comes back because I wanted to mention something to Rocks.
All right, go ahead.
Um, but yeah, essentially that's kind of what happened. So with my expectation of like I don't really have an expectation other than like actually I just more so have standards like and boundaries that I enforce, which is for a guy to not text other women in a flirtatious manner. You can have friends that are girls. I don't doubt that. But if they come across to you, I want you to be stern enough to like push them away if they show interest in you as respect to your partner. Or if you feel like there's some kind of sensation towards them, like you feel like you're wavering, I would like you to be honest with me and leave, or be honest with yourself and understand if you love me more than to do what your impulse is telling you and to drop that person. Um, that's the way I pretty much see the balance in a dynamic. Again, not liking pictures that are considered provocative, um, because you have respect for your woman, and that like is going to reach another woman and feed their ego. So I would not like that. Um, for me, it's more like all those respects, um, all the respect should be given, and I will be able to give you in return that respect. Um, it's about if he wants to pay for stuff, I can let him because I feel in a safe environment where that's not going to be held against me that, oh, I paid for this, paid for that. Not someone boasting about what they've done for me, but someone genuinely doing it because it's the kindness of their heart and because they care about me enough to do those things. That's all I had to say. Max, you still there?
She's moving.
I'm still here
Uh, she has a
processing.
process.
I think something else that I wanted to add was that it's not more of a, well, not saying that it was a gender thing, but sometimes, like, from my personal experiences, I've tried to come out of my shell when it came to dating. Because when I got asked out in like middle school, high school, all that, I would always say no because I just knew I'd be too awkward at it. And I guess like once I got into like my college years and all that, I kind of learned that for me as a girl, even though I would try to like take things slow and like say, um, or like try to like move slow or something, um, some guys they'll still try to like take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of like, I've heard dumb dating advice where they say, you know, men choose the girl that's kind of not like other girls, but like they carry themselves well or they have high self-esteem. And I've tried doing that, and you know what? You still get those dudes that'll try to take advantage of you.
You
But then
do.
when it comes to another girl, it's a different story.
There are always people out there that want to put others down. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you heard like where people take these really confident girls, break them down so they don't feel any form of confidence of themselves, inspire that to them, inflict that on them, and then they suddenly aren't confident at all and they're in fear of actually leaving this relationship because they value the worth of it a little bit more than themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I kind of feel like for some guys, not all, they have in mind what they will take seriously and what they won't. It doesn't matter like how you act or anything. You just know the type of girls you will take serious and the ones you actually won't, regardless of how that girl acts. She could be like a good girl or trying to stay focused on whatever her goals are or clear about what she wants. But yet and still this is the type of girl that you know you don't really want anything from her, but like bad intentions. That's to me what I have learned in my dating experience.
I can say this from me being probably like the highest, like married. The saddest thing
The only
is
married in the group. The only married in the group. Let's get that
again,
correct.
not yet. The
Continue.
saddest thing is that one of the hardest things I had to tell some of my female friends outside from y'all is that every guy has most guys work on the sex only and wife material. That's how most guys think, how most guys are. And they look on based on your actions. Now we have someone in the thing we're gonna call what we gonna call him? I call it a little crazy, but Dev knows what I'm talking about. For someone like that,
Yeah.
you literally put her in one category, which is, like sex only, unfortunately. And that's because of how she presents herself. When she has a very, I ain't gonna say outgoing, but very crazy. What is it? Desire to I'm gonna get what I want regardless of how I get it. No, no, because I'm saying this in a negative way. Outgoing personality would be amazing, but going with I want to get what I want when I want, whenever I want, from who I want, is not going to get you, anything. Like, to me, if you're going to say it like that, that's not empowering, because it goes against the whole, like, you're doing this to look for a partner. So you know how they said what one man won't do, another man will. Same thing for a woman. And the sad thing is when I learned this, going up a little older, I realized that women do the same thing too. You have a guy that you want for just resources or materialistic reasons, and you have a guy that you look at for possible future husband or dating material. And that's one things I had to come to terms with, like, to understand some things on y'all side of y'all mind. If you get what
And
I'm
honestly,
saying.
I didn't used to be like that either. But that's like a learned mentality for me now.
I had to look at my mentality of, like, I wanted someone who was actually going to care for my feelings the same way that I'm gonna care about theirs. Because I was raised by an old black woman, and I'm gonna tell you like this: old black woman did not like women in general. Like, she was she got married, had kids, and all that stuff. But the reason why she didn't like women in general is because she saw what happened when certain women would do things to her loved ones, like sons, nephews, grandsons, like children. And the saddest thing is she would tell us how to basically avoid it, because she would tell us basically the games that y'all play the same way my granddad taught us the games that told the young girls the games that men play. It's just how well are you going to recognize it? You get what I'm saying? It's not everyone's not a mystery. You can figure stuff out. You see signs and patterns. It's just how blind are you going to turn to it?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think something that has actually worked for me was writing down all of what I want in a special person. And for me, it worked. Like, if that makes sense.
Oh no, it makes perfect sense. One of the things I hate is, and this is a very unpopular opinion. I hate when certain, like, groups, oh crap, like, and I'm gonna say it. I hate when certain, like, girls say that all men are trash, and I'm one of those people that I'm very particular on wording. Because if you say all men are trash, if a guy says all women are gold diggers, you can't get all defensive and mad, because what your statement is generalizing all men
Not
instead
true
of
for
saying,
him personally.
yeah, I'm say instead of saying some. Because if you say, like, all men are trash, and if you, how a smart person would counter it, it's not all men are trash, it's your taste in men is trash. Because it's what you're looking for in a man is what's trash. Because not every man is the same way as not every woman's the same. If you particularly pick a toxic kind of environmental, like, relationship within somebody, then it's your taste within that person. Because the next guy is not going to be like that. The same thing with the next woman. The next woman is not going to be like that. You have to analyze and assess what you're like and see who's the problem. Because sometimes you may think it's the other person, but sometimes at the end of the day, you're the problem. Like, that's one of the hardest things I had to learn.
Can I play devil's advocate really quickly?
You can try.
Yes.
Like, I'm curious.
Yeah. So the reasoning for, again, I'm not saying whether I agree with this or not. This is just devil's advocate. The reason why some women say men are trash does not just have to deal with, like, relationship history. It actually has to deal with, like, the violent crimes and the people that don't really stand up to it. So when some women, again, some women say all men are trash, they don't really finish the sentence that they mean. Some generally mean all men are trash with their full heart. Some actually mean all men are trash, but when they say that, they're more so implying the men's in their lives that have hurt them or people within their surrounding or been part of a violent crime that's been committed on them because of a man.
And
So that
I and
is an argument that I've consistently seen kind of circle around the internet. So that's just me again playing devil's advocate.
in that case, it's like I said that, and my statement honestly wins over certain things like that. Correct your wording. That's the one thing I say. Because again, if you take something like that and say that, if a man that goes through experiences saying that, all the women I've ever been, all the girls I've ever known, I've always hurt other men, they're gold diggers, this and that. You see someone will get offended by it, right? So it's the choicing of wording of what you say. It's how you say it. So that's why I said,
So
hmm?
So would you agree more with if someone based that off of because of the statistic of violent crimes saying that this statistic amount of men are trash?
Okay, say it correctly. This statistic saying some, not all, because if it was all, it would be 100%, correct? It wouldn't be a certain percentage. If you say
Um
70% of men commit violent acts, what about the other 25%? If you said all men, that includes 100%, including the 25%. So if you say some,
that would mean
regardless
that
of how some
Hold on,
is,
hold on. Wait, slow down, cause my math got confused. Say it again, but slower.
if say you say 75% of men commit a violent crime, if you use the word all means 100%. They always say give it your all, so give it your 100%. Use the correct wording. Some men, some can vary between like percentage. It's not saying some is only 15%, some is this. No, some can vary. It shows the percentage. But if you say all, that means even the people that aren't a part of that, you're putting those people in that. So like she just said, if you say 75-80% of men commit a crime, right? A sexual crime or a violent act, what about the 20% that don't? Are you gonna place those in that all men are trash?
I think they
In
go
that,
by a bit the much like again devil's advocate. Think they're probably assuming by going by the majority, because the majority versus the 20%, again, because men are more likely to murder victims by 76.8%. Females were most likely, this is based off something I'm reading, females were most likely to be victims of domesticated homicides at 63.7%, and sex related homicides 81.7%. So when I think they're saying all, what they really be saying is the majority. But if they say the majority, then you don't really hear the some men are good in that aspect.
You really can't.
you can
You kind of can't go off of that information because it depends where the data was studied and all that. Was this like worldwide or was this certain country or?
This was based off of just the United States alone.
okay.
Some still don't add up with that, but go ahead.
Because I say because realistically, here's how you can counter that. If you put it in perspective of who could, this is gonna be a very sensitive topic. Who is more
Mhm.
likely to commit suicide, men or women? And I'm gonna give you the
Men.
answer. It is men. Men by 100%. And the saddest thing is so many women would say, "Well, men don't have to go through the same stuff as women do." Okay, if that's the case, then why is a higher percent of men committing suicide compared to women? You would think that if women are going through so much and all that, and they don't have no help, they would have the same rate as men. So when you say, let's say in the fact of majority of women can get help they can get help for their mental health, while the majority of men, because of society's curse, don't get the help that they need, resulting in these toxic, unhealthy men that are in the world.
Yeah, because men do have a 4 times higher suicide rate. And when I was learning about this in psychology class, was it had to do with men from a very young age. Not it's more of a stigma for them to be able to express or regulate their emotions. Um, versus women do go through a lot within their life span. Yes, they're conditioned to process these feelings. um, Most women are conditioned to process these feelings or regulate them in some way. Versus again, men do not have that as a base for them. Um, so you have men being told from a very young age to shut up, don't cry, be a man about it. And eventually, yes, on any human being taken away from your emotions to fully just toughen up and be robotic is not something that humans are made for. So at a certain point, you do have men, um, again, not being able to regulate those emotions and having a little bit higher of a suicide rate. It can also have to deal with, again, very stressful work environment. Again, still have to regulate the emotions. That is not there because, again, that was not taught. It was more so taught to, for the longest, suck it up, don't cry, be
And
a man.
you know what's funny
That's
about that?
the
I got into an
mentality.
argument. I got into an argument about somebody. I got in an argument with someone about this, and I said a mindset when a man says, or a person is teaching a child, you're not supposed to cry because you're a man. Where is it taught from? And I want to hear your answer before I tell you.
Where is it taught from?
Yes, where is it taught from?
Well, you can't really narrow it down to originally who it's taught from, but
Man or woman?
I've heard my dad in my household. Um, I would hear my dad say it. My mom would actually want the boys in our house to process their emotions.
And that's having both parents. Well, actually, what's the study of having how many kids don't have both parents in the household?
I mean, I didn't have both parents, but when I was after a while, with my mom again was the only one to really be like, "Don't, you can cry." My dad was like, "Suck it up," because that's what his father told him.
The funny thing is the majority of people that I know that are single mothers always told their son, "Don't cry because a woman's not gonna like that. A woman's not gonna like weakness. You're supposed to be strong and you're supposed to be a leader." And the thing is the absence of a man pushes. Yes, absence of a man is very bad, and that's the man's fault on that. But it's also a woman's fault for teaching her son or her kid in general, mostly the son, to have such toxic behavior. Well, very toxic masculinity, and the fact of that it's not checked. Because a lot of the times when a lot of girls say that men can't communicate and all that stuff, it's like, where do you think that comes from? It comes from a lot of women saying you're supposed to be strong. No one really, you can't cry because it shows weakness, so you're supposed to bottle everything up. Where and we see, let's say, a brother and a sister, a little sister cry, immediately comfort. Brother cry, you're going to look at him in a different way. Like you, unless you really understand the difference of the mindset of a man and a woman, when you see it from the outside, you see a man crying all that stuff as a sign of weakness, and that's because the society is cursed.
Well, no, I've seen my brother cry a lot.
Jesus Christ, you are loud as shit.
We're both cancers. I've seen her cry.
Oh my God, she just came in with the deepest. Oh my goodness, that blew my eardrums.
I'm
Pause.
sorry.
Yeah, all right,
Sorry.
but now
I
you're back to
apologize
normal.
for that.
But I did want to add something else to it. That comes from a place of projection. That a lot of women, because they don't have a secure male figure, they end up looking at it in their sons, and that's where emotional enmeshment or emotional incest come in, and that's why a lot of these mothers get very jealous when another form of love enters their son's life. Let's say like it's a partner or it's a friend. Typically, these mothers are also the type to want to sabotage those relationships because, again, they are looking for the love in a male that could not get, and now they're looking for it into their sons. And while they do this whole process, they're damaging them even further. Um, there's also a study behind that with those specific demographic of people or individuals who have that emotional incest, who have that emotional with their
And
children. That's what they tend to inflict on them. And
I
you
say,
also see very like
hmm?
strained relationships where, let's say you have both mom and dad is lacking in some form, and they have like a preferred son or an only son. That's when they will typically lean forward towards that person and try to find the things that they crave emotionally. Um, and it doesn't have to do with like, bodily incest. It just has to deal with them being either too attached to their kid or being in love with their kid and not acknowledging it, that it's not on this level of most people who have emotional incest don't acknowledge that it's on a level of being in love with the son in that manner. And this can also happen with dads and daughters, which I think is also interesting.
Oh shit! Like I said, saddest thing is I've had this conversation with certain people, and certain people say, like, and I don't agree with a lot of people who blame men for certain things, but lack the accountability within women as well. That's why I said I'm one of those people that I say a lot of things that is controversial and people hate it because everyone wants to blame men and say this and that, this and that. It's like, well, what if we blame women for the stuff that they did? And I get a lot of hate because I bring something like, if you take a man out of the equation, then who's the fault? And I'm not saying this against the LGBT community. It's more the fact of if you look at the study of gay marriages, well, gay relationships, man and man, and then woman and woman, look at who's more abusive and like who's like more happy. And the saddest thing is I literally have brought this to some people's attention. I said, if you eliminate the man out of their problem in a relationship such as this, like two gay guys are less likely to be abusive, as well as they're 2 times to be happier compared to a lesbian couple where they're more likely to be abusive and then less likely to be happy and ready for divorce. Where is the issue at blaming a man? Because there's no man in there. So how can you blame a man for something that takes accountability with the woman? And the saddest thing is like I'm not men. What's the word they say? They always say like you try to defend men but never defend women. I've heard people say like I try to victimize men and demonetize women. I'm like no. I hate both of y'all equally. I hate men equally because as a guy, you know how degrading it is to have that placed on me. Like I walk by a girl and she immediately fears for her life because she's scared I'm gonna do something to her. Yet when something is about to happen, I'm the first person that she runs to because it's like you're supposed to defend me, and it's like, like, and I hate, and this is me personally, I hate, and I'm going to say this, when we have in the society curse of if you see a woman crying, the first thing that happens is you ask what that man did. Before you, the first thing you should be asking is what happened, not what he did, and side of the story, you should need to go hear from the other side because most people will hear it from one side and just go off of that, and it's usually the person that's the most distraught. So whoever's the most distraught in that time is the person that everyone goes.
Doing that.
I do see where you're coming from with that, because again, a lot of times when you do see the role of, and I think I don't. This is my assumption based on study. My assumption is that this most likely has to deal with that certain dynamics, like the one that you said, do happen. For example, when a police officer, let's say like a woman is to lie about, and I would hope a woman does not lie about this, but it happens. A woman is to lie about domestic abuse and
Okay, I thought she was about to say the R word. I was about to say, I have. That's gonna be very touchy for me. But continue.
but let's say the woman is the perpetrator, right? She's the one inflicting the domestic abuse. But as a control tactic, they are pretty much using emotions or the fact that they're a woman in tears in order to reel back in all like what the sense of justice of the people around them would be in order to control the person in front of them. That I cannot deny that does happen. That does happen. So you do have that sense of where that invalidates the experience for other women because there's some women out there who do that. And then it doesn't also talk about like the mental health that it damages for men, you know. So I can, from your perspective, I can get where you're saying that in regards to the danger. And this is again from a place of personal like experiences growing up as a woman. If there is a man on the street, I cannot deny that I will be a little bit scared. But that doesn't have to deal with the man that is presented in front of me. That more has to do with the projection that I have and the previous experiences that I have. Um, and for example, the previous experiences that I have are being like as a teenager, being followed as I'm walking off the bus by a man um, who keeps asking my name. I go around a different area. He ends out in front of my house. Um, walking to tennis practice, having a guy again follow me in their car. And I at first, as like a child, don't really think much of it. And I have that same car, that same person, at a same light, pull out their genitalia as I'm crossing the street and stroking it as they're looking at me, and then chasing me with their car. For me, because I've had these experiences, and I've had more experiences in between, which I do not wish to share, that have started from when I was a toddler. I have had a sense of guard anytime I'm out in public and I see a man that I do not know. There's been times I've been just at a grocery store getting something and a guy has groped my ass or made me feel very uncomfortable. That has had it happen in my workplace by a patients before. And because I have these generalized experiences, I now have this projection of being unguarded or when I'm outside with men, you know. Again, because I've had so much trauma experience with certain, I worry about being on the street. If it's at night and there's a man behind me, I'm most likely going to turn on my light, watch my shadow. There's certain measurements that I now take that I used to not quite think about when I was much younger. Again, because it comes from a sense of projection and feeling unsafe based on my previous experiences. But again, I don't correlate that with that there aren't men that are good out there. I'm just saying that that is maybe why some women feel worried about being on the street by themselves because they might have had a similar experience. And I'm not to say that some men probably haven't had that experience, but there's also men that don't really report it. So there isn't really data or statistics to really talk about that.
Well, the saddest thing is I'm gonna say it like it is. The way women view men as predators, women can be predators just as well. And the saddest thing is I've heard a couple girls say men can't be sexually assaulted unless it's by another man. I'm like, no, women can sexually assault men and they can sexually harass men the same way that men do women. It's just perceived more negatively when you see it from a man compared to a woman. When a woman does it, it's okay.
Honestly, I've heard stories of basically children or like being left in the care of some woman, whoever, and them sexually assaulting them. So yes, that is true. It can happen.
Yeah, both can be
because women do. Wait, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying both can be the perpetrator. It's just again the way that you fear something in public is more so how based on like a personal experience or projection or a taught projection.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a thing that I wish was more studied upon, because I mean, men's mental health does matter, is how much of these men are not part of that statistic because it goes underreported because they have this stigma about not sharing their emotions or um, not being able to present their experiences to the court law with it being believed.
Take out the negative aspects that come along with a man speaking up, and you'd be surprised how many more men will speak about certain things. And the saddest thing is when my grandmother taught me this, and this can't be the most truest shit ever. A woman can ruin your life faster than a man can ruin your life. And and before you even say anything, before you even jump to it, if something is falsely accused against a man, no matter even if it's clear and say it wasn't, you will always have that negative outlook on him. Whereas the only way you would have a negative outlook really on a woman necessarily is if it's confirmed that she did it. So if a woman kills a man, the only way you will look at her as a murderer, you will look at her as a murderer as like, oh, she like it's confirmed that it wasn't out of self defense. It wasn't out of like fear for her life. She just did it just to do it. But if a guy kills a woman, the immediate thing is he meant to do it. It's never the case of what if he feared for his life. And the saddest thing is I've learned in my age that I am now that the world is jaded and biased to one side. And that's literally shown within our court system. Like, something can be falsely accused or falsely claimed, and it fucking happens. But if a man comes up and says, this is what happened, look at the negative, like look at the backlash to get for that.
So you're saying on like the judicial system, women have an advantage.
Yeah, that's easily a fact.
Yeah, and like something like family court, when it goes through a divorce, they're more likely to side with the woman nowadays.
And let's talk about like custody of a child. If the man is doing anything because the woman gave birth to the child, the woman automatically has custody of the child. The woman can be out here selling drugs and being a bad mother or doing all this stuff. Yet you have to go to the extreme, even proven evidence for a woman to get the custody taken away from the kids. Like you have to show.
So I was gonna say, so for again, I'm gonna just play out. So in the court of law, based on you could statistics on this, I do agree. With the court of law, women have an advantage. Would you say that there is some other disadvantages that men have within society or within not necessarily court of law, but within the work field?
Yes, same way.
What would you say men
your job is at risk as a man. Your job is at risk if a female coworker says anything wrong, such as he didn't even say nothing. If he looks at you and you perceive it as wrong, but that's not what he was doing, you go to HR and tell HR that HR is immediately ready to fire him. All he could have done is just, hey, honestly, how you doing?
I think they need.
But I actually have had it happen to where I was kind of getting sexually assaulted at work or like harassed at work.
And that is
my boss,
and that is something that needs to be reported.
Actually laughed at it.
See, now that needs to be, he needs to be fired for that.
The thing was, if we did report it, they would have acted like nothing happened, and they did that a lot. But that's a different story for another day.
They need to be sued for that.
Yeah.
Like
not with the family. I'm not gonna name names, but not with the family they were under. That's also the family that has the money to hide stuff.
Also, I'm gonna say this as well, and this sounds more insensitive. Y'all are more into y'all feelings when it comes down to logic. Like guys use more logic than they use their feelings.
The thing is,
that's not really a
but what
debate.
If somebody comes by?
It's more a debate about experience. By you saying that women are more emotional, that you're invalidating what she just shared to you.
What I'm saying is if anything that goes wrong, you can have a bad day and it's acceptable. You can be on your period and you can treat anybody exactly how you want, correct? And it's supposed to be accepted because you're on your period. But if a man is going through a natural hormone that he has, it's looked down upon. So most men, let's put it like this. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between a perv and a creep?
A pervert is someone who, a pervert for me is someone who likes, I mean, I don't really know if there's much of a difference because a pervert by society is known also as a peeping Tom. A creep is known as someone who goes to extensive measures to be with a woman
They fall
or
in the
to
same category.
be with a man. They kind of fall within the same similar category. Yeah, they're very kind of thin line together. But if you're looking for the word where it's a guy is sexually explorative, that's a little bit different.
I'm not just talking about a guy. I'm talking about a woman too. I said I never gave it a gender assignment. I said difference between a perv and a creep, because women can be creeps too.
And perverted and creep have a very thin line.
But what did you bring in though? What did you bring in? Go back to what you said just a couple of seconds ago. You said a guy.
Well, I don't mean a guy. I call everybody a guy. Like I call women guy or sometimes I call girl. I don't mean it by that. I'm saying that with the word pervert, this is what I'm trying to say. With the word pervert or creep, they kind of run thin line together versus sexually explorative is completely different. If you again define a creep, you usually in society hear a peeping Tom. When you hear a creep, you hear somebody who goes to an extensive amount of measures to be with someone.
Like I said, one of the hardest things to look at, because like you said, for you to what a creep and a perv is, to me, a perv is someone that isn't going to act on anything. It's not going to fully act on what they're thinking or what they're saying. A creep is someone that's actually going to do it. Like, crazy example of it is an obvious creep is Quagmire. Quagmire is a creep 100%.
Yeah.
Now Herbert is a pervert. Like, he says these things, but really doesn't like all the time act on it. Granted, he did act on some, but that's what
see
Jordan
him actually act on it.
We do actually, but that is later in Family Guy. But that's why I'm using the thing of the difference of you have some people who are going to go to the extent of actually committing a crime by being a creep, by being an actual creep, compared to you have the perverts that are like, they may say things that make you feel uncomfortable, but they're never going to act on it. A creep is going to make you he's going to say things that is uncomfortable and then act on it.
So what would you say in regards to the difference between a degenerate and a pervert, because they're synonyms of each other?
A degenerate doesn't provide anything to society. A pervert can possibly provide something to society. Every guy, let's put it like this, every guy is a pervert, but is every guy degenerate? Because what's the one thing that's on every guy's mind?
Some guys have in their mind, just food. Sex in their mind.
Rox, what did you say?
I heard my name.
Rox, did you say something? Or
I heard my name being called.
Okay, was that all Lily saying?
No, that was Cookie.
Cookie, what the fuck? So
Cookie
okay, continue, Lily.
I'm that some guys, it just depends, because some guys generally do think about sex all the time. Some guys think about other things, like Legos or food or hobbies or different interests. It just really depends, though. But in regards to the word pervert, though, a person with the sexual behavior that's not considered normal or acceptable, but then a creep, I don't know. They kind of run within each other.
It's what's considered acceptable and what's not acceptable. Also, we're going to all get on this man Dev because he just made a post on his Snap. We should all go look at.
Okay, if I can find my phone. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to edit the whole thing. You can just edit the first hour. You don't have to worry about the next hour.
Oh yes, I do.
How do you have to?
Oh, is it the one with the bicycle?
No, one after that. Dev, come on.
Oh Lord, I forgot I posted that.
What did he post? Take a screenshot.
Is it not loading up on your end?
No, like if Lily and I saw it, then I guess it's like
Yeah, no, just Lily.
I
She
see the
just
cheese puffs.
these N words been talking for a
And I
minute. I'm gonna
see.
be adding for a bro. Hold on.
Well,
Always
how
present.
about you be more organized, Dev?
I am
Private
organized. This is an organized event, but golly, I'm gonna let y'all spit
No,
though.
because we have it at random times. We have it at random times.
Yeah, because we all got lives.
Thing is, schedule it like once a month or something. Once
Once,
every couple of weeks.
once every
This
couple.
topic
This is once
juicy,
every
but I
couple of
want
weeks.
this topic juicy, but I want pizza.
Pizza.
This is what Dev was
I'm making
posted on his
Szechuan
thing.
pork noodles.
You can leave the call, let us talk, and then you don't have to worry about editing it.
Or he can stop recording and actually speak.
Nope.
Yeah,
Keep
that
talking.
too.
Nah, why we gotta keep talking for it?
So I don't have to
You
worry
already-
about trying to set up another event again when I'm busy. So keep
Boy.
talking.
Nah, why don't you talk, boy?
Talk about what? And I ain't your damn boy.
Right?
You telling me you have no opinion in any of this. You telling me nothing that we're saying affects you at all, like no the thoughts that you have.
I mean, here's the thing.
All the thoughts you have are different from us.
No, it's not necessarily that. It's just
You're a single guy, Dev.
if I want to butt
She
in.
thought she throwing the business out.
Shit.
Nah.
But no, like every time I thought about butting in, then it switches, and then I was like, well, it's kind of not relevant anymore. But
Jump
Just-
in.
Jump in, start talking.
I was texting. I ain't gonna lie, I was texting. But all right.
And posting.
And posting.
Who?
Yeah, okay. Mind your business. That's who.
Oh, you think you grown now?
I
Who
am
is the
grown.
lady friend?
You are the baby in this entire chat.
No, actually, Lingling is.
It really is.
You are the baby
No,
in
I
this
thought
entire
Dev
chat.
was.
But
Well,
I ain't gonna lie.
figuratively the baby.
Lola, I gotta pick on you because you the shortest one here, bro. So like, hey, everyone got some like,
no, Roxas the shortest
eh,
one.
but she's up there with me.
I
Up
said
there
the
with you in
baby.
age.
Like she'll hit you with that little brother. Don't let her hit you with that little bro status, bro.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter. I'm making
Lily,
Szechuan dip. Stir fry.
Lily stands over you,
Them
Shit.
using lead
so she has that
Nice.
advantage over you.
reasons that are unrelated to sexuality.
Huh?
Pervert is a I'm reading something.
Huh?
Pervert is
I was gonna say, it's like, is she letting her voices talk to her? Like, what's going on here?
If she's letting her
No.
voices talk to her, I'm leaving call on everything I love.
I'm reading a psychologist study right now between the difference between a creep and a pervert. A pervert is a creep who sets off alarm bells because he poses some sort of sexual threat. What is considered and then there's a Reddit one. I don't trust Reddit. Trying to look for
Reddit's
another.
useful sometimes.
I'm looking for a source. That's a blog.
But I suggest mutiny
What?
You just
when it comes to this podcast. I vote somebody. I want to vote Dev out of office.
mute
Oh,
you
weak
for
as
what?
shit.
You're complaining about stuff being too long, but you ain't taking the lead.
Taking the lead. I'm letting y'all talk. I'm leading with
Technically,
the recording
she
and
has a valid point. We're carrying the podcast right now, as far as like what's going on in it.
well, because the topics y'all discussing about both of y'all have like it's like a debate going on. That's what it is. So I'm just gonna let y'all debate.
And you telling me
But
you
you're
can't
part of that
get in?
debate, though.
How? I'm texting people. I can't text people while listening.
You're a man.
Yeah,
You can't multitask?
You're a man, though.
Are you special?
I can multitask easily.
So you're a little special. That's what I'm hearing.
No, it's just I'm texting, and I'm trying to get my message out. And
Okay.
yeah, but anyway. Yeah.
Okay, special. We got it.
But anyway.
What's your 2 cents? You're supposed to throw your 2 cents in this, sir.
Good God, y'all talked about a shit ton of things, and it's kind of
And you
crazy.
couldn't stop.
Because
So
if we come up with topics beforehand, this
y'all
would go by a
literally
lot
was
smoother.
switching like every 3 seconds, but I can give you a rundown of my opinion if that's what you're asking for. You should have asked for it in
Go
this
ahead, give us
way.
a rundown.
Anyway,
Get to talking.
anyway, so for what both of y'all was like all over the place with point of views, but at the same time, it's like it's going on more of like personal interest, if anything. Yeah, I mean, y'all both did have a lot of neutral perspectives, and but at the same time, it kind of got tossed into a personal belief and all that. Well, not personal belief, I would say, but um, it kind of like went personal opinion, if anything. Now the whole topic of God, where to start? Um, what was it? God, y'all switched up a lot. I can't even think of it. But like for example, because I can remember this one, like
Me?
men and women with jobs. You know, it's like who will get in trouble more. Like, yeah, you're right. Men will get in trouble more because a lot of companies don't want to deal with the PR issue that they will have when it comes to another woman. And if it's something heinous, like as such as sexual assaults or um, any assault in general, like the PR for it is bad. You know, if a woman, if she says that it happened, it's easier just to go ahead and get rid of the male than it is trying to fix it, because it depends how disgruntled the woman is with the company. She might do it because she want to raise, or she might do it for backlash, whatever. A lot of companies just do that. You know, they do that, then they offer some form of compensation, which is, I'm not too sure what they do, but I would imagine probably a raise or a new position or a transfer somewhere. And
Depends.
they wouldn't really go in and investigate that, because as I said, it's bad PR, and once it get out there, your company's kind of in a rabbit hole that you got to dig out of. And then
Some companies. Oh,
another
sorry,
thing with,
continue.
oh sorry, but and then another thing about like dealing with law enforcement related issues, no, the court system, that's another thing I remember. So nowadays the court system is starting to become more fair as of course technology has advanced, and there's easier ways to prove evidence against him or her. And of course, like, I wouldn't say back in the day, but like years ago, you know, if the woman
Back in
said
the
it was,
day.
yeah, pretty well, okay, I'll say that then.
It
Back
more
in the
started
day,
with the men back in the day.
huh?
They started with the men back in the day.
They sided with the man.
Yeah,
Yeah, in court decisions against like men and women, if a woman claims she was raped or something, depending on, like the situation.
Rape,
Or
yes. Anything
a
else,
woman killed
no.
her husband. It depends yeah.
Only one
Like if
that
they
they
were
sided with the
divorcing,
men.
the men would actually get more of the stuff.
I do remember when divorce was in our history was illegal, and a lot of women had to flee to other states to remove themselves from that partner, and then that women were regarded in history as property to those men. So those men were actually legally allowed to go ahead and retrieve those women, and sometimes those women would be like have to be in the situation that they were in before. Same thing I think goes for like men in a way. Which was, but again, in that time, the court did favor men, and sometimes the court, depending on which court you go to, still favors um men. It's like a case by case basis, because you do hear a lot with the R word. What was she wearing? Um, those kinds of like art, like arguments, um, that basically imply that based on what the woman was wearing, she deserved to be raped.
Do I agree with that? No, I don't agree with like what she was wearing. Like all those cases like that, I don't agree where if she was wearing something that's going to happen and she deserved it. I don't agree at all. Like
But
that's what I'm saying.
I do think there is a modern shift, though. A modern shift that you talked about is where women have child support, women have this and the other, and depending on who is the stand or the judge of the day, um, who might have a preconceived notion, like notion of who's at fault, based on gender, or sex. So yeah.
And like I said, in most court cases, when you look at it, because as crazy as it sounds, it's like you would think that in the world that we live in now, it would be fair trial when certain things happen, such as paternity of a kid and everything. So, and the sad thing is that that's not the case.
No, it's because again, those cases, someone already has a preconceived notion of who's already going to have that case turn out, um, which is unfortunate because you do see dads who care about their children. But if you also make it just based off of like sex or gender, then you would also have it kind of shift over and be like the role reversed. So it's really about having to improve how our court system does certain procedures. I like in that case, I do believe that both parents should be fully investigated until they determine who the child goes with. Um, However, when you do that, you do kind of run into a case of who's the kid going to be with temporarily. And that would also lead them to be temporarily homed in a foster care. So it gets a little bit of a complicated, and once you start trying to exit, um, is a very difficult process.
Like the unpopular opinion on it is literally if child support and all that stuff didn't exist, there would be a lot more deadbeat mothers than deadbeat fathers. Like that'd be one thing. That's a debate that goes on because it's like if you really think about who's fighting for the kid, it really shows. Because most dads, and I'm gonna say it like this, most situations where the dad is trying to fight for the kid, but they're not letting them. At least they're showing the dad is trying to fight, but why is the dad not able to do it? Now let's get clear. If there is a legit reason, such as he's abusive or anything like that, that's understandable. But if it's just that she has spite against him, I feel like the woman should be prosecuted for that. If you have spite against him because he left you and y'all just went your different ways and he got with someone else, like y'all divorced and he got with someone else, you shouldn't be able to hold a kid from them.
I agree with
Just
that. But what I'm trying to say is like when you try to make the issue is when they try to fix this, they're bound to kind of come across that bump because essentially, if you try to make it really fair, you have to have that child temporarily withheld from both of the situation or have that child inflicted within the two parties and see where the damage is, which also gets a little bit iffy for the child itself. That's what I'm saying. But going back to because I did want to add on to this, going back to the harassment thing, there are certain companies who do compensate the women heavily, but there's also other companies that sweep it underneath the rug. Um, so that also happens. I do know that men or women can get can get targeted for harassment. It is a little bit more you see it being a little bit more common with men being the either the accused or the perpetrator in a work field. And by accused, I'm not saying that they did it. I'm just saying that they might have been falsely accused, or they were accused and they were proven right. So there are cases where they let the man go, or there are cases where they let the woman go, but they give them either hush money or give them another written excuse for termination so they can't speak about that. So those things can be a case by case thing.
yeah, that was on to you what you said.
Like
Damn,
for
sounds
example,
iffy.
Labs has experience from what she shared for the work field of being harassed. I also have and the experience of being harassed and being let go, and it being for a completely other reason. For my specific experience, I'm not speaking for all women, but for my or men who have gone through something like this, for my experience in the dealership was I was straight out of high school, so I was viewed by much older men as within that place as pretty much fresh meat, which is kind of gross. And the reason I felt that way was because I would have certain men that worked at that place. I'm not speaking for all men. I'm talking about the men with my experience. That they would grab my bra strap as I'm sitting at the desk typing and rub my back and tell me, "How are you doing, sweetheart?"
Like
And
I'm gonna say, go ahead.
And so that would be my back. And so I found that weird. Or I'd have them trying to give me back massages as I'm on the chair, and I would tell them specifically not to touch me. And this was specifically around when I started as well. I had a guy who was I, I can't really say his like ethnicity or his name, but we'll just say a guy unnamed with um basically he was saying like he came up to my desk, he asked me if I had a quarter, and I was like, yeah, I have a quarter. Why? Because Frosties at the time, Frosties were I think what, a quarter or 50 cents at Wendy's before the pandemic.
Mhm.
And, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Then he asked, what flavor do you want? And the taking count the man was married and I had just recently started this job. I was like, I would like vanilla. He's like, so you don't like chocolate? I'm like, I don't prefer chocolate ice cream. No thanks, sir. I just want vanilla. Thank you for offering. And then he specifically says, I so you don't like a little chocolate in your life? I'm like, what do you mean by that? It's like, so if you were with me, if you get with me, you wouldn't touch the chocolate ice cream in my freezer. And I'm like, sir, aren't you married? And he's like, that doesn't matter. And so
Context.
yeah, and I was like, sir, you're married. And I was like, sir, you're also like not very old and unattractive to me, so I would not prefer that. And
Cause
so then he was offended by that. So he made it his vendetta to consistently harass me at work or get me in trouble. Um, and when I tried to like pretty much report it, it didn't go my way. Because at the time as well, one of my friend's mom um, was a stripper who bought a car at the dealership. So because I knew them, um, I didn't quite know what she did till after this incident. Um, I would call her mom. And she like there, so they thought that that was like, is that actually your mom? I was like, no, that's my friend's mom, my best friend's mom. And like, you do know she's a stripper. And I was like, I didn't know, but I was like, her occupation is, I just replied with them, her occupation is none of my business. So then, because I knew her, they felt entitled to continually harass me amongst staff. In one regard, I had a picture on my phone that was open from like pretty much a snap from a guy. And they were like, "Is this your boyfriend? Is this your boyfriend?" And they're like passing around my phone. And they won't give my phone back. While the managers are watching this and
Oh,
turning a blind eye.
that place would have turned into a crime
a
scene.
lawsuit. Like
No,
yeah, I'm
fuck
gonna
that.
say easy lawsuit.
Fuck
So
that. Come back
I
with the
tried to
chopper,
go to
start spraying.
HR about it, and around the time I was going through a lot, so I dyed my hair blonde. Um, as like a mental like thing, I guess I did like a little mental episode. I returned to work and they fired me, and their excuse now, because this had been going on for almost like a long time, was they were letting me go because of the pandemic. And now that wasn't true. It was because I was trying to report everything happening, and how I was inappropriately touched by my coworkers. I was inappropriately addressed by my coworkers. So they kind of swept it underneath the rug. And I've always been scared to report any man who has harassed me at work.
Don't never be
I'm gonna say
fearless.
this.
Always report. Even if you
Yeah,
got to go as far as law enforcement, just go with it.
one of the reasons why I hate people who say my name wrong is because a case was not necessarily filed against me, but because the girl couldn't get the name correct, she just knew it started with the I. And honestly, the things I wanted to do to her because of being falsely accused of something that she couldn't remember, like I want to give her what she deserved, which is a real like tell her like I hope whatever happens falsely accused, the fear that you put in me, I hope something like that happens to you. Why? Because one, if I did not do it, get the name, get the person correct. And the sad thing is I had to fight so hard because of a false accusation. It wasn't me, it was another person who had sent. So if just because it started with the same letter doesn't mean it's the same person. One of the reasons why I say if you have a vendetta against somebody, don't get everything correct. Don't just assume that it's like, you know, it started with this. I can't remember it. No, you remember because you obviously had time to really spend with that person. And one of my biggest things I hate is how hard I had to fight to prove to people that it wasn't me being falsely accused. And it was R. I was falsely accused of R. And to this day, no one even bothered to ask. The only one that asked was the police. The police asked me, and once they figured out that it wasn't me, the relief I felt wasn't there, because I should have been relieved. Oh, they know it's not me, but the looks and stares that I've got because of that stayed with me all through most of middle school. And honestly, it came down to the point of like my parents had to threaten the school because no one was doing anything about it. Everyone still had the same kind of view and all that stuff on it. Like, oh, even though it wasn't true against me, it was against the other person, they still looked at me in that same way. So far as the experience, I understand your experiences, but like I said, I'm very jaded to certain things, as in, if it's true, it's true. There, I would say, like Dev just said, I was about to say this man's real name. He said, don't be fearless, report it. I agree to that. Like, don't let something like that happen and then you not talk about it. But also, don't just go around lying just because you want to get back at somebody. That's one thing I'm gonna say, because if we talk about experiences, there are some experiences that I don't really want to talk about, but that's probably the most traumatic one. There are some experiences that I can say that I've, felt like it should have been dealt with better. But because in the situation of how it was, because it was a woman, nothing that I said was believed because I'm a man. So I'm not negating what y'all experiences. So never get that. Speaking of that, Dev, you haven't said nothing this entire time.
I don't really have anything to relate to the topic as of right now. I pretty much said what I said earlier. It's like if it occurs, of course, still report it, even if you got to go to law enforcement about it. But when you do, like, has sufficient evidence, like pictures and videos are always super helpful, especially if you have the accuser's face in it, because that's just a solid case right there.
Rocks.
And even then, if you're at a business and you're trying to report it, uh, go ahead and get your own documentations of what's going on, because it's easy for a company to go ahead and wipe the cameras. Oh, the footage is missing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and I have my fair share of not like assaults or anything, but of being accused of stuff with absolutely no evidence that I've done it and having law enforcement get involved. Some I've mentioned, other I have not. But yeah, I understand what it is like to get accused of something with absolutely no evidence and feeling frustrated because nobody believes you.
if you ever get accused, always just say where the evidence, and I guarantee you they'll choke up right then and there. It's like prove the evidence.
That
Where's the
does not work.
evidence?
That does not work.
No, it does now.
But
Shit.
the thing
It
is,
does now. It doesn't.
it's always my story never changes.
I was about to say, and that's another thing.
My
Like,
story never changed either.
yeah, that's what I say. That's the easiest thing to say. Is like you don't talk more about it. Just say until you get evidence, I didn't do it. That's all you have to say. Until you get evidence, I ain't do it. And they'll try their damnedest, but they say, well, I didn't do it. You can't pin it on me. You know. That's all you have
They're
to
Right?
doing
say.
that now. Back then, it wasn't like that. If that was the case, then it would have been easier for me to not say
Back then, we
deal with
all
that
never
issue.
had. Yeah, back then we never all had the mindset like that. You know, it was like back then people for some reason people mentality was like, you know, like the if you well, what was the one thing? It's multiple ways they thought about this. Like one thing I heard, it's like, well, if you if you know you didn't do it, you'll fight for it. You fight to prove it. Well, I fight to prove it. You still didn't believe me, so what's the point? And actually, that happened not recently with me, but well, not recently, I should say overall, but it happened to me before. And they said, well, why ain't trying to argue it? You know, it's like it don't matter what I say, you're still gonna believe me. I know what I did, so I'm gonna tell you this, and that's it. I ain't gonna argue about it.
Believe you or not believe you. Believe you or not believe you.
Not believe me. Like I tell them like this. If
Okay.
they try to say,
The
"Oh, I
first time
did
you
something,"
said it, you're still gonna believe me. So.
yeah, yeah, it made it sound. It made it sound like I said believe me, but yeah, like I always tell them, it's like, look, I'm gonna say I didn't do it. I know I didn't do it. If you don't believe it, then I don't know what else to tell you. Until you got evidence, I don't care what you say.
Like I
I'm gonna
said,
have to start saying that because
Yeah, that's all you gotta say. It's just like, look,
until you
I
can produce evidence,
I don't care what you say. I know I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Yeah. And they'll argue up and down about it too. It's like, yeah, you did. You was over there. It's like, well, I may be over there, but trust and believe me, I didn't. I never noticed it. So it's like until you
Oh, and
actually
plus, when people say you always look like somebody,
that's what happened with me
makes it worse.
because me and the person that had the same like initial, like first initial, and we somewhat looked alike. They assumed it was me, and I literally said, it's really embarrassing how you like if you really have a vendetta against somebody, you can accuse somebody.